I know I need to size up with you, and when I defang the Viper, trust me, ain't gonna come from nowhere. Jeff, I already put you out. I don't even know why you're out here right now. Keep on talking. Hey, do me a favor. Why don't you act like this is an AA meeting and you shut your mouth while I'm sharing with the group? And Mustafa, you out here, a boy among men. And I'm gonna tell you what, you got lucky at the Rumble, so I know you're gonna come out here and run your mouth about how bad you are. But let me give you a little bit of a reality check. You see, Mustafa, you said that my eyes don't lie. Well, your eyes don't lie either, because last week, they were closed real tight when I put your simple ass to sleep. And AJ, hey man, be honest with me. How's our old girl Wendy doing?
Welcome back to the Clark Street Wrestling Podcast. It's me, Hafiz. With me, as always, Devin. And we have a special guest with us today. The South Philly Psycho, Dom from Top Rope Wrestling Talk, is here. He's back with us. That means that the shield of podcasting is back together.
Yeah.
Yes, myself, the Messiah, the Tribal Chief, and the Psycho himself, the unhinged one himself, Dom. We back. Put him in.
Yeah, welcome back, bro. Yeah, there we go. Play that music.
There we go.
There we go.
That was wild. So for the people listening, on YouTube, you might see this, you might not, I'm not sure. But for us, there was a little bit of a glitch when all of that happened.
You just shut that shit down.
All of a sudden, for me, Devin was gone, so he was out of it. Was me and Dom on the screen. I'm like, what? Where did Devin go? What's going on, man? Tribal Chief going on his whole thing. Leaving the Psycho.
I'm done with this, man, already.
36 seconds in, and we've derailed.
Dude,
I'm out.
Oh man, okay.
No, but I'm so happy to be here, and I'm happy to finally say I am the lunatic fringe of podcasting.
Yes,
Fringe, let's go.
It is.
We got the Messiah, we got the Tribal Chief, and now we got the lunatic fringe. It is complete.
There we go. There we go. I love it. I love it. So yeah, we back here, man. We're gonna have some fun, talking some wrestling from this week. Lots going on, man. But first, we're gonna start off because today's Friday. They did SmackDown, and I wasn't able to see it. I'm actually just coming in, from work, and just wasn't able to see it. But I figured it'd be kind of fun because I know Devin, you were able to catch it for the most part. So just get some of your thoughts, and Dom, you too. You said you about 75%. Yeah, caught it. So just thoughts right after it closed. It just ended. Like, what are some of your thoughts on this show? And because we'll start with you, Devin, because you said, you were in and out. So talk about that, man. What was going on?
Yeah, I would say in and out because the wrestling was actually decent. You know what I'm saying? The Los Lotharios, they call them the Lethal Lovers now. That's their monarch.
Don't forget the Kiss Cam.
Yeah, they got the Kiss Cam. They got the Los Lotharios Kiss Cams now.
No. Oh, my goodness.
And it had this young lady right here in the corner behind the barricade, and she took a kiss from Angel Garza and Umberto.
Ain't that a great look in the pandemic?
It was freeze frame right there.
Yeah.
Ain't that just the best look for a pandemic? Kiss cam.
Right. Like, okay.
I'm like, all right.
The pandemic, yeah.
And you see Kofi just have this weird look. Like, the fuck was that?
It's so funny because they've done this before in WWE. I remember when Maria, had the kiss cam. She used to, do that whole thing, literally like, all right, kiss cam. And they had this whole section of the show where it was just Maria coming out and trying to get people to kiss. It's like, all right, so we're rehashing some old stuff, it sounds like, which is, it's a WWE thing. It's a Vince McMahon thing, kind of recycling some of his old stuff. But what about the Tribal Chief, man? Like, what did he have going on? I know there's Goldberg. I know we're building up to this nonsense.
Yeah.
But so what happened, in the story, progress the storyline with these two? Did they just talk about, hey, I'm gonna spear you? Like, what was it that?
Well, he had some cold bars. I must give it to the Tribal Chief. Had a backstage segment, him and Paul Heyman in the corner once again with the title, staring at this Tribal Chief. Gotta love it. But basically, to sum it all up, what the Tribal Chief said, he was like, dude, I'm done with this dude. I'm gonna Goldberg. I was like, okay, bars, my guy.
All right.
So I expect a quick match. Then that's what a Goldberg match is, right? Quick
Yeah.
fashion. I'm a Goldberg. All right, man. You gonna stand on this, Tribal Chief?
Man, Dom, what you think of all this?
Oh my God. Nothing gets me to change the channel faster than Bill fucking Goldberg. Like this fucking guy.
Dude.
I mean, they actually, during that segment that Devin was talking about, Michael Cole sitting there talking about, yeah, you know, he had an undefeated streak to a world title and blah, blah, blah. Like, that was 22 years ago. Are we still talking about this shit? And then they showed him a clip of him beating Brock. And I was like, oh, at least we skipped back to 6 years ago. So we're kind of
Right.
current.
Man.
And then Goldberg's promo, I didn't even understand. He was sitting there talking about, I should have beat Roman 10 years ago. I should have beat him 15 years ago. I'm like,
Yeah,
Roman Reigns was like not
talking
around.
out his ass again, bro.
He was the Universal title. Like, what the hell is you saying, Goldberg? I don't even know why he went after Roman to begin with. Does anybody remember SummerSlam and, you know, Bobby and them beating up his kid and he was going to kill him?
Yeah.
And all of a sudden,
Yeah.
Now
hey,
he was
Roman,
wrong.
you're next. What
Right.
happened to Bobby?
He's still alive, Goldberg. Like Bobby's still alive over there. You said you
He's
were gonna kill
alive.
him.
Yeah,
right?
He's breathing.
Got license
and he's
to
got a
kill.
Championship. You get all of it.
Right. That's the champion you would think he would want to go after because he's got some kind of story going on with him. He's got
Right.
nothing going on with Roman. So
They had to bring up the pandemic thing where Roman dropped out of
That's
WrestleMania
it.
and all
That's
that. And this is 2 years in the making. It's like, nah,
No, it's not.
No.
we didn't care about it then. We didn't care about it then, and we don't care
Exactly.
about it now. Like you could just drop this whole thing, and we'd be all like, "All right, thank you for dropping it." But it's gonna happen, unfortunately. And you know, the crowd in Saudi is gonna.
They got the right crowd for it.
Oh yeah,
I might
They're
get
gonna
into
love
it. Hell, I might come back like, yo, that Goldberg and Tribal Chief match.
No,
That shit was
Nah.
slapping.
I know. You can't even say it with a straight face. You can't even say it without laughing.
I don't know,
Oh,
man.
man.
It could happen. It could
I
happen.
think
I just don't even
Devin would sooner acknowledge Seth Rollins as the real Universal Champion before saying that shit with Goldberg and Roman and Saudi slap.
Right. I just don't even like the fact that they're even teasing the idea of a Goldberg Brock Lesnar scenario because Goldberg winning this match would put him in a situation where, okay, if Brock wins the Elimination Chamber,
Bring this up.
Goldberg. I'm just saying, I don't even like the fact that they're even putting this out there in the universe that, hey, because, like you said, Dom, they mentioned 6 years ago, the match between the two of them, and that was terrible. That was an awful matchup. The match was bad. The crowd hated it because they knew behind the scenes what was going on. Both these two dudes were leaving the company anyway. The only person they liked in the match was Stone Cold. He was the special guest referee.
Oh no, you're thinking WrestleMania. I'm talking about Goldberg's comeback when he won the Universal title. That was 6 years ago.
Oh yeah, dude. You know what's crazy? I totally took that out of my mind. I forgot all about that.
After he had destroyed, and then he destroyed Kevin Owens.
Oh my God, you're right, dude. I've that whole thing to me is so irrelevant right now. Like the fact that they even had that back and forth where Goldberg beat Brock in like 2 seconds, and then Brock got his revenge. Like, yeah, it's completely. Oh my God, that's crazy. So. For me, I'm not investing in this at all. Like, I could care less. Like, they could just drop this whole thing. I do not want to see anything even teased about Goldberg and Brock. No, please.
I'm sorry. I'm gonna be real.
I don't want it.
The scariest thought I had, because I had that thought in my head, was like, what happened to Bobby? Because you were going after him. The scariest thought I had was like, what if Bobby retains at Elimination Chamber and somehow Goldberg beats Roman, and now we're unifying titles at WrestleMania with these two?
No.
As much as you don't want to, as much as people might get tired of seeing Brock and Roman, I do not want Bobby versus Goldberg again.
No.
I'm not going to even entertain the idea of Tribal Chief losing, period.
Right.
It's
not happening.
We know that.
Not in Saudi.
Well, especially you. Yeah, of course. You're not
Especially
going to say that,
him.
definitely. But I will co-sign with that. I do not want to see Roman Reigns lose at Elimination Chamber to Goldberg under any circumstance. I don't care if it's cheating, if they they do some kind of heel turn, whatever. There's nothing you can do to make Goldberg beating Roman acceptable. There's nothing.
So, 2 words: Brock's revenge.
Ugh.
No,
Ugh.
no.
I'm not saying I like it. I'm just saying
Yeah,
it
no
all
one
popped
cares.
into my head while I'm
No,
sitting there
man,
watching
No one
SmackDown.
cares.
Yeah,
I
no,
know.
no. Yeah.
The crowd
The
just wants
money-
to chant Goldberg. They just want that
Yeah.
part of the experience.
That's it.
When he wrestles, they're done. They're done.
The Saudi crowd,
The
especially.
entrance, he comes in, he had all the spectacle, Goldberg. That's why Chicago was in there chanting. I get it now, I understand. But
Yeah, but
after
nobody
that,
does that.
when the wrestling
Nobody does
kicks
that
in,
chant.
they're like, nah, they
Yep,
disconnect.
yep.
Nobody
They're
does that
done.
chant like Saudi. Saudi chants it like it's 1999, man. They go off.
Oh man, that's crazy. That's crazy. My mind is still blown that I completely erased that entire feud between Brock and Goldberg when they like the comeback. I completely erased that from my mind. Thanks, Dom. Now it's back.
Thanks SmackDown, they brought it up. I had forgotten about it.
Lunatic.
Too.
Oh, shit. I was going all the way back to them with Stone Cold.
You went,
and
yeah,
Nah,
that
like,
was
hold
like
on, hold on.
OG matchup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I said, I got
Yeah.
one within 10 years, my guy.
Yeah. Jesus. All right. Well, so SmackDown, I mean, I'm gonna check it out, definitely. You know, I'm gonna watch the episode and see, because especially for Roman Reigns dropping bars like that's
Oh
gonna be
yeah,
something
yeah.
to see.
In the main event, the women's,
The main event was good.
it was Charlotte and Naomi. They went 25 minutes with commercials.
Yeah,
They took
I
at least
saw that
3 commercial
advertised.
breaks.
I saw that advertised, but I mean, my only thing with that is it's so predictable. Okay, so Charlotte is still champion, right?
It is,
Of
but
course.
it was still a good match because
The
it was
match
it was
itself, yeah.
it was
I feel you.
times that
I
it
feel
caught me. Like I'm like, oh my god, I'm cheering for Naomi to get this. Oh, she should have had it right there. Right there too. It was
Yeah, like
that
the-
good, man. It was that good.
The split-legged moonsault. I was like, oh, she got her.
Yeah, bro. It was my god. You just gotta go see it. Gotta go see the match.
There's no point to where you really thought they would take it off of her and mess up the whole Ronda Rousey Charlotte
Nah.
matchup, all right?
Not really.
Like you didn't really believe that Ronda Rousey versus Naomi instead? No, it's not happening.
I honestly, I thought they might turn into a triple threat.
No, they're not doing
Yeah,
that.
Now
They're
that
not
could
doing that again. But no, Naomi.
You know,
Naomi and Becky,
WWE
there's
loves
levels
nothing more
to
than like multiple
that.
person fuckery, like triple threats, fatal 4-ways,
True.
5-ways,
But this
elimination
match-
chambers.
The Charlotte and Ronda Rousey match is the match that they originally wanted before basically Becky's popularity kind of forced her into that matchup. So to have it happen again, you know, with Naomi, and I feel like
If the crowd forces, but they gotta really be loud about it.
really loud.
They gotta be loud
Man,
about it because after this performance could happen. I'm just
but I
saying,
think
watch
they
the
have
match.
A way out though. They have a way out though because again, you know, you got Sonya Deville and Naomi, and like it's not over. Like that's still going
Yeah.
on. So they can easily just have it be Naomi versus Sonya at Mania, you know, in some match, and just say, okay, we're gonna hold off on Naomi's push until after, you know, WrestleMania, even if the crowd got into it. You know, I don't feel like this is a Daniel Bryan situation or a Becky Lynch situation to where the crowd is gonna be able to push it that hard.
They
know,
do
so-
that with a lot with Naomi. I feel like they just go, we can hold off on Naomi's push until, and then the next year we can hold off on Naomi's push until.
Yep, she gets it a lot. Unfortunately, it happens. You know, so I don't think that they hold her in that kind of regard. I mean, she was barely on television for a long period of time during
Until they
last
put it
year.
in the story, man.
This story
with
was
Sonya
what brought her
Deville,
back.
because
Yeah.
it's been consistent with her. The past at least 2 months
It's
minimum.
been a
At
couple
least.
months.
Yeah, with this story,
Maybe
they
since
still
like last summer.
yeah, honestly, man, it feel like it's just been long, but this has been like a secondary story. But have in mind because it puts Naomi in front of the camera.
Yeah. I think it's great. I think it's great for her to get the spotlight and get on TV, and she's talented. She deserves that time.
Oh, definitely.
So it's cool to, you know, even her being in the main event for this. I think that's a great moment for her. And like you guys said, the match, it sounds like the match is great. That's cool. I just feel like the booking of that, I mean, again, you already kind of announced it's going to be Ronda Rousey versus Charlotte. So for me, it takes a little bit out of it if, you know,
Gotcha.
if Ronda hadn't kind of made it known that she wanted to go against Charlotte, and it was still up in the air for would she pick Becky or would she pick Charlotte, I'd be like, okay, there's more like, oh, maybe this does happen, and they switch up the plans. But it's pretty clear that it's Ronda and Charlotte, so that's where I'm like, I feel like that takes away a little bit. In the back of my head, I'm still thinking, they're not going to give this to Naomi. They're not going to take this away from Charlotte. So
The only other thing that had me thinking on SmackDown was I think Sami Zayn lied to us all. because he said he didn't see the Jackass movie, but he totally pulled a Jackass prank on Rick Boog in the middle of his insane TV show.
Oh man!
When Rick Boog went to grab the mic, got electrocuted. It was boom.
Yeah, because he couldn't hear him, so he was like, he's trying to.
Let me tell you
As
something.
soon as he touched, he was like, I was like, oh shit!
Right.
Shinsuke went in the corner,
Like
and
check
then,
on him and just a Lula kick.
Yep. I was like, damn.
Oh man.
Like, I think you watched that Jackass movie, Sammy. I'm just saying.
Right, man. You full of it a little bit, man. Saying you didn't watch it, and then
That
doing
is some
stuff like
Jackass
that.
Forever shit right there.
Oh man, cool. So that's just a little bit on SmackDown. But let's switch gears over to AEW because there was a lot going on this week during this episode of Dynamite. Let's just get straight to it. So Tony Khan had mentioned, or we're gonna get someone coming through the Forbidden Door.
Which always makes Wendy laugh.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of a funny thing, the Forbidden Door. Like, he's taking too much credit for this whole thing.
Door.
Right, but it is what it is. So, he put it out there. He had people hyped up, like, oh, okay, someone's gonna be coming in. Let's see who it is. Blah blah. And there was a lot of names thrown out there: Jeff Hardy, Killer Cross, and all that. But at the end of the day, the two people it was, and there was two of them. We got not one but two. We got Jay White, the Switchblade, coming in, which was the true, I guess, Forbidden Door person.
Absolutely.
Coming in from New Japan. A little bit of a Bullet Club reunion there. It was pretty cool. And we got the Limitless one himself, Keith Lee. Yes, bask in that man's glory.
Oh.
Back. The music was going. Yes, he had the music.
Oh, the music,
style,
the
outfit. He didn't have the singlet.
he was showing
he gave
all
Angelo
his chest
Dawkins
meat.
his gear
Showing
back.
all his chest
my
meat.
shit.
Yeah,
Embrace all this chest meat.
yeah.
I'm here to share.
Yeah, man.
It was beautiful.
He was himself. He was himself. And just immediately the crowd chanting, oh, bask in his glory. And he even looked at Isaiah Cassidy because they were getting ready to wrestle. He said, oh, wait, hold.
Wait. I'll whip your ass in a second. Hold up.
Getting into it. I'm like, he's where he needs to be, man. He's where he needs to be. So he seemed like he was having a lot of fun. And that first spot when he tossed Isaiah Cassidy across the entire length of the ring, not halfway, the entire length, and up about like 20 feet up in the air, man. Like,
it was up there.
Dude.
I was like, damn!
All the way up.
I swear.
I'm tossing him all the way up.
When that happened,
he's all the way up.
When that happened, I backed it up. And when he threw Isaiah Cassidy, he was like mid-flight. I paused it and I looked at my wife. I had like a Dukes of Hazzard moment. I was like, you know what? It was at that moment Isaiah Cassidy realized he done fucked up. And then I unpaused it.
Dude, man. I mean, I rewound that a bunch of times too when it happened. I just had to look back. I'm like, what the hell did I just see? Hold on. Let me go back. This is insane.
And the internet had fun with it. The internet had fun. The memes came. You saw the Fresh Prince when Uncle Phil tossed out Jazz like, oh! it came. I was like, oh, this is hilarious. This is hilarious.
Dude.
There will be another gift shortly if there isn't one already.
Oh man, I'm telling you, that was awesome. That was awesome. And just in general, just seeing him wrestle the way that he excels at, like he's a heavyweight that wrestles like a cruiserweight. It's crazy to see him just clean, smooth moves. Man, Big Bang Catastrophe, he did that as the finish. It was awesome. Even at the end too, after the fact, with Private Party, where like both guys, Mark Quinn and Isaiah, did like moves outside of the ring, and he caught both of them at separate times. It was just insane seeing him show off that power like we gotten to see all his years in the Indies and NXT. Like, this was it. Part of me was mad watching this, honestly, because I'm like, damn, man, like, how did it not work in WWE? Like, I just don't understand. Just let him do his thing. Like, I don't get it. So whatever, that's WWE. Yeah. Wait, what was that?
Yeah,
it's that simple. He's a Triple H guy.
Yeah,
end of story.
Yeah, facts. That's just what it is, man. So Yeah, it was great seeing him. And like I said, it looked like he was having a lot of fun. So definitely enjoyed that.
Newly
ahead.
married too, so congratulations. You know,
Congrats.
Yeah.
welcome to the club,
Yeah.
homie.
Married to Mia Yim, exactly. You know,
Yes,
show off
yes.
that wedding ring. Yeah.
I mean,
We got the shield fist with the ring.
yeah,
on it.
yeah. On that one.
Hafiz is
Yeah.
the smart one of the three of us. That's why he's the architect.
The Messiah. Right.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. But yeah, just shout out to Keith Lee, though, man. In all honesty, man. Congratulations
Yeah,
to Keith
I
Lee and
mean-
me and Yim on that.
Let's be honest, the last few years, being released from WWE is probably like the 12th worst thing to happen to Keith Lee after the COVID
Yeah.
and the enlarged heart.
Yeah.
And go back to this time last year, he put out that video where he was saying he couldn't even walk around his block because he was in such
Yeah.
bad shape with his heart and getting treatments and everything. So to see him back in the ring doing all this, it's like,
Mhm.
wow, it was a huge moment. Not just like for him especially, but even for me sitting there, I was like, I can't believe he can still do this after
Yeah.
all that.
Yeah,
That
Yeah.
man literally is limitless.
dude.
Like, you can't stop that motherfucker.
That's dude. You put it in great perspective right there. But just thinking about everything he had been through, you know, and then looking back at it, like you watch that match totally differently, really considering. Because I'll be honest with you, when I was watching him wrestle, I wasn't thinking about any of that. I was just excited. I was just happy as
me
a
too.
fan to enjoy like seeing Keith Lee on television. All I was thinking was like, man, why did WWE not make this work? That was the length of it. But what you just said, and I just like replay the match in my head now, it's just like, wow. Like
That's
you've
what
been
it-
through
I
a
swear,
whole lot, dude.
If you back up almost
Just to
a year
get back
to
to
that,
there, yeah.
if
Yeah.
you back up a year to that date from that debut, it's when he put out that video where he explained what had been going on with him and why he wasn't on TV and how Mia got COVID taking care of him and then his heart enlarged and he had all these
Yeah.
other problems
Oh,
and he's
man.
trying to come back. And they had like the perfect story leading into his comeback in WWE. Like he's fighting back through this pandemic, like we all are. And they were just like, "No, Angelo,
Yeah.
give him your outfit. Change his music."
Yeah. Like, wait, what? What do we do? It's crazy. It's crazy. But focusing on just Keith Lee and the positives. I mean,
Yeah.
WWE aside,
No, that's what I mean.
like just
Like,
it's
Fuck
it's,
all that, just from the way he fought back, and
Yes.
not only to
was a great
continue
point.
life, but his
Yeah.
career, and then leading into this moment is a beautiful thing. In the moment, I was a wrestling fan. I was like, "Oh my god, he's back! Thank you, welcome back, Keith Lee." And after Dynamite was over, it hit me, and I was like, "Wow,
Mm.
like this
Mhm.
dude."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I always knew he was special, but this makes you just that little bit more special.
Yeah.
A whole new meaning of limitless with him for sure.
Mhm.
Definitely.
Hell yeah.
Definitely.
Hell yeah.
Yeah,
Hell
man.
yeah, man. I
Ain't no
enjoyed
gimmick.
I enjoyed his debut, man. I marked out because I just kind of just treated the rumors that he was going to be walking through the forbidden door just white noise. So when I saw him, I took it as a legit surprise, marked out. Him throwing Isaiah Cassidy like 5,000 feet in the air. It's hilarious
Oh
but
my
crazy at the same time. And Isaiah Cassidy just screaming too, adding to that effect. He did his thing. Let's give him his props too.
Oh,
Sell
yeah,
it for
yeah.
him.
He did.
You know what I'm saying?
Made him look
Sell it
great.
for keep. Yes.
He did the jazz scream and everything on the way out.
Yeah.
Well, you know how Isaiah does it, man. That high pitch, like,
Yeah.
Like,
It's
okay.
a little more bitch than jazz. We'll be honest.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
was trying to give him some credit because
Like, he legit scared from that. Like, ah!
that came out of you.
Right.
Wow. I lost so many levels of respect for you, Isaiah.
Oh,
Well,
man.
I mean, Matt Hardy definitely did because that man,
man.
went through the
Laughed.
crowd. That dude,
He's left.
Matt Hardy was like,
Hell no.
"Fuck this shit, I'm out."
The commentators, though, that was very erratic behavior.
Yeah. Oh, dude, that was perfect. That was so perfect.
Oh yeah, it was great.
You
It
know,
was great.
like everybody that was just watching,
Ooh.
when you heard him say that, it's like, okay, I see
Yep.
what you're doing. I see what you're doing. You know, so that was awesome. So I guess Jeff Hardy, Matt Hardy, you know, them, the tease, I think it's perfect right now. Hopefully it happens. I'd love to see them get back together, have a tag team run in AEW. Like, I think that would be cool. Is that something that you guys would be excited about too? Because right now I'd be all in, honestly, to see the two of these guys have just one more run as the Hardy Boys in AEW. Maybe travel around a little bit. But what you guys think?
I would be excited to get one more run from the Hardys because, like, when you think about it, they have won pretty much every tag team title there is to win. At one point, they were on that golden quest before coming back to WWE, which culminated in their return and winning the tag titles at WrestleMania. But they've never won the AEW titles, obviously. So if they can come in and just add that jewel to the gauntlet, like, I'm all for it. It doesn't need to be long. Just come in, win it, drop it a month later, and be like, okay, deuces.
Want to see the Hardy Boys versus the Young Bucks? You know, like that would be crazy. Just you know, oh man, that'd be great.
I'm down for that.
No, you know,
I'll say give me a tag team tournament with that.
Felipe from Suplex, he actually got to see the Hardys and the Bucks in Chile, and then Jeff Hardy slept on his couch after missing a flight.
I remember he told that story. Yep.
He loves telling that story, and I was like, "You lucky son of a bitch."
I remember hearing that story. That sounds familiar.
Like, how come you didn't fly me in? Oh wait, you didn't know me back then. My bad.
You sound like Goldberg with Roman Reigns right now. Like,
no, that's that lunatic.
Years ago, I like. No, man, he was barely even wrestling. What are you talking about?
He's senile. I'm just a lunatic. There's a difference.
There we go. There it is. Oh man. The Hardys coming back together. One more run. I think that'd be a lot of fun, man. That'd be great.
One more run. They can get in with the tournament. I think. You know, just real short to the point.
Yeah.
They ain't gotta even worry about stacking wins on Darker Elevation.
No.
Just get in where you
don't need that. No,
keep them off of YouTube.
Build
they are too old for YouTube.
Throwing up the rankings.
No. Tony Khan's gonna ignore the rankings for that one. Like,
right.
Y'all get me.
It's one of those. It can even be one of those open challenge moments where whoever the tag team champs are, like, we'll defend against anybody. You see the Hardys come out. And they can be whatever. They can be Team Extreme. They can be Broken Matt and Brother Nero. I don't give a fuck.
Right.
Just be together. That's all you got to do.
And just getting more eyeballs on the product too. Like, I talk to so many people that don't even watch wrestling right now that say that, hey, the Hardy Boys were their favorite wrestlers. You know, that they loved watching them back in the day, you know, them in the TLC match at WrestleMania. Like, people will talk about that. I'm like, you imagine there's people, you know, in their 30s, you know, in their 40s that, you know, and even younger too, that I talked to someone today. She's like 20 something. And she said, yeah, the Hardy Boys, I used to love them. I'm like, well, okay, that's awesome. You know, and it's great. It's just like they cross over to so many generations that to put them on Dynamite and have them fight for the titles and give them a run, I feel like you'll bring in just such a wide range of people, to watch. So I think Tony Khan, it would be just a smart move, and to me, it should be an easy move to say, hey, this is we got something here, we got a moment here. Let's go ahead and capitalize on this right now and boost up the ratings and just have this feel good run with these two guys. I think that'd be super cool.
It'd be perfect. And you know what? It feels like Team Extreme just bridges that gap of generations. Because, like, my neighbor's kids are in high school, and I saw them coming back from the bus when I was pulling in and I was going to my mailbox, and I heard them talking about WWE. And they said, damn, did you see Lita? She's hot. And I was like, you have no fucking clue.
Yeah, right. Oh, man.
I grew up in the heyday of Lita. You have no clue how hot she was. You think she's good now. You need to go back. You got Peacock?
Oh, man. Go ahead on Peacock and check it out.
Go hit it up.
Absolutely.
Go back to like the 90s and the early 2000s and look, and then tell me what you
Dude, man. Yeah, just... It'd be great. It'd be great to see that happen. It's interesting how all this is coming together too, with Lita having this one more run. I guess she's trying to get, you know, potentially the Hardys coming back. You know, from a nostalgia standpoint, man, it's an interesting time we're in right now. But talking about the future of wrestling, MJF. Devin, this is your favorite heel in AEW. So go ahead and talk about what your dude did. What your man do?
Oh,
what your man do on Dynamite?
He's trying to win asshole of the year. I swear, bro. I
Thank you.
swear.
At least maybe we'll have a real conversation about MJF on this show.
But that's why he's my favorite heel, man. He is heel to the core. Just all right. So last week, 2 big wins over CM Punk in Chicago in his hometown.
Yes.
So the first thing he do, sends Wardlow out there. No music, but he has like these cardboards, these MJF lookalikes. One pinning CM Punk, the other, he's in that sitting CM Punk pose from Chicago. And he sets him up all neat and properly. gives the announcer a list, like a booklet or something. He reads off, talking about, FTR to get this luxurious entrance presentation. Same thing was Sean Spears.
Sean Spears got an entrance. Yes.
Oh my
greatest
God.
accountability buddy of all time.
The only accountability buddy of all time.
Yes. The MJF, he finally comes out. But first, they was just going down this long list of accolades and then some, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
The uncrowned AEW World Champion.
Yes.
How you figure?
Right.
What?
He's just gonna take that name.
Are we still like flashing back to Moxley cheating back in his title match?
Yes, yeah. You know what? That's good, Dom. That's good. I wish they would have said that or like pointed that out, because that's good, like, long-term storytelling if he would have said that. But
Yes.
yeah, it's cool.
Yes. And he finally comes out in this like Rome-like, this, what would you call
He
it?
was on a throne. He was on
In
a
a
know what I call
throne,
it?
and they were just walking him in. He comes in the ring,
You know what I call
kiss
that?
a girl, like mouth to mouth, French kiss. Oh, go ahead, Don.
You know what I call that? They broke into the WWE museum and they stole the Macho King's pillar thing that he used to come out on with Queen Sherry, and they just put MJF in it and they carried his ass.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, dude. And yeah, that moment too, he gets up on the side of the ring. The one girl he tells, kiss me on the cheek. She kisses him on the cheek. The other girl, she pulls his head and they start making out.
Tonguing him down.
Everything. Just sloppy. I'm like,
You gotta remember, in the middle of that introduction, he put in the banger of Rats. So he had to prove it in the middle of the ring.
He had to prove it. He did. He did, man. He just, dude, it was great. It's Max, man. It's Max. But keep going, Devin.
So he comes in. He says he's thankful. He wants to thank like the guy who helped him get the 2 wins over CM Punk. He's like this big guy, big awesome guy.
You see Wardlow.
Hey, you see Wardlow.
Wardlow's fixing his shit, smiling.
Get some respect. Okay.
Dude, perfect.
Like, finally, I'm about
He
to get
takes
my due.
one step, freezes. MJF says Sean Spears. Sean Spears like, hey! And you see, dude, Wardlow's reaction was just on point. He takes a step back. He's like, takes a chuckle. He got like the bottle of champagne, and he had to swallow that, bro. Just
Okay.
swallow that, bro.
I see how you doing me here. Okay.
Like, you see, I'm like, yeah, you gotta take that. You gotta take that. You're gonna get your comeuppance, man. You're gonna get your comeuppance, Wardlow. Crowd cheering Wardlow. Yeah, but man, the MJF promo was on point, man. I enjoyed it. Just top heel quality, and then telling the story, maybe a little dissension amongst Wardlow and Pinnacle, man. So it was just on
Just
point.
a little bit, yeah.
On point.
Yeah. We had CM Punk come out, and honestly, I mean, you already, Devin, you know where I'm coming with this. And Dom, maybe you haven't heard me say this yet, but for me, I'm kind of moving past, I feel like I'm ready to move past the CM Punk MJF storyline. Like I felt like it reached its peak. We had the match in Chicago and the right thing happened. MJF won. Like, I'm from Chicago, but I can say I feel like CM Punk losing was the best thing to happen in that scenario, because you got to put over the young guy, MJF, and make him feel like a monster heel by beating CM Punk in Chicago. And now, MJF it's like his version of Jericho beating The Rock and Stone Cold in the same night. Like, he can say that until the end of time. Like,
Got a shirt for it now.
Yeah. I'm better than the best in the world, and you know it. Okay, I like it. I like it. So
Yeah,
you know,
I mean, beat CM Punk twice in Chicago.
Yes.
Why are we not moving on from this? Oh,
It's
right,
done.
because
So CM Punk coming out, I was honestly like, man, this is kind of pathetic, man. Like, what you doing? Like, what you doing? Like, come on, like, you just need to move on, man. Like, he beat you twice. I don't care
Let
how
it
he
go.
did it. Yeah.
Let it go.
I'm sorry, man.
I proved the level of this victory by giving a fun fact on our show last week. Before Punk lost to MJF, obviously he'd been gone for a minute, but before he lost to MJF, the last man he lost to in a ring was Roman Reigns.
Wow. Yeah. Wow.
Roman didn't do it twice, though.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I mean, see, so
Chief.
I feel like it's there's more weight to it if you have him lose and then we move on. But now we're kind of teasing, like, okay, CM Punk wants a rematch. And first he said, I want a rematch with Wardlow. Like, MJF assumed it was with him, and he's like, no. I want a rematch with the guy that actually beat me, the reason why I lost. And, he's like, I want a rematch with you, big man, with you, Wardlow. And Wardlow's like, oh, okay, me, yeah. But then it kind of slowly became about MJF and CM Punk again. And they were saying, we want to redo the six-man tag. And I'm like.
And not only that, didn't they already do this with Jericho?
Yeah, well, we talked about this because now it's starting to feel like the trials of CM Punk. The trials of CM Punk are about to happen. Like, nah, that's tired, man. We
Is
did
it gonna bring Nick Gage back for this? Like, are we gonna repeat the whole process? Like, we're gonna turn AEW into WWE.
I know they're trying to push us to Revolution.
They are.
I think so. And, honestly, I mean, we just talked about Vince McMahon rehashing some old shit with Kiss Cam and some other things. Like, Tony, don't fall in those same trappings, man. Vince McMahon Jr. Like, hey,
that's why we get into fights on our show, because there are people on my show that believe sports entertainment is different from wrestling, and when you look at these two scenarios, they are exactly the fucking same. Let's recycle the same shit we did. That's all the same. I did not mention a promotion.
This is funny because you say that. I know Devin is like, hey, man, yeah, sipping his drink. I see you over there. But here's where I got to go ahead and still stand on this point. Okay, the point is, with sports entertainment, look at what they did on Raw with the Quiz Bowl. Like, to me, that's sports entertainment. That is clearly sports entertainment, all right?
No, see, that's just whack.
What about Chris Jericho debate when he did the debate?
Same thing. That's sports entertainment.
Okay.
Right? That's sports entertainment.
But it's the same thing.
Well, I guess what we're saying is, so maybe
all
we
relative.
can agree on this, that AEW does use sports entertainment within its product. They're not just purely wrestling. It's not just sport, right? It's not just like, hey, we're just gonna have matches where we're competitive and that's it. Like, they do their segments with like you said, the debate and all that. Like, I think both do that, but as far as the companies, but there's a difference in general between what sports entertainment is and what pro wrestling is. Like, it's just that both companies do both, and AEW does pro wrestling a little bit more than WWE, but they both practice in both sides of it. That's the way I see it.
They both share that building.
Both companies do both things. It's what it is. Yes, but there's a difference between sports entertainment and
how they do
wrestling.
their product, how they put their matches on, whatever. Yeah. But overall, it is basically the same thing. It's like saying, "Oh, Coke is different from Pepsi." No, it's all soda. It's a brand. That's all it is. They branded this sports entertainment, and people are complaining about it now. I'm like, it's been sports entertainment since 1990. Where the fuck were you?
Yeah, so you're saying that they're branded, like WWE is branded sports entertainment in general.
They've taken it to
okay.
It happened originally in 1990 because pro wrestling was considered a sport before all this,
right?
And they were set up to basically be sanctioned by the athletic commissions in every state, and those states would rip these companies off with fees and charges and everything else. So Vince McMahon was the one that went and said, no, see, this is scripted. So it's not the sport of wrestling. It's sports entertainment. And therefore they did not have to be sanctioned. They could save a ton of money. They did this for the same reason Devin keeps talking about. It was good business.
Yeah.
They could save a ton of money. They could make more at their venues, more at their pay-per-views, and they could roll right the fuck along with it. And then it popped back up again at the beginning of at the end of the '90s when Ted Turner uttered the phrase to Vince McMahon, "I'm in the wrestling business," and Vince said, "That's great. I'm in the sports entertainment business. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about."
Yeah.
And now we make it like it's some big
point.
difference. It's been around and it's been the same thing for decades. Now all of a sudden it's different.
Yeah. Yeah, I see your point as far as like, you know, when Vince McMahon comes out and says that and brands the company that way. I guess I get that, but I look at a guy like Daniel Bryan and like his wrestling and just like the matches that he has, and I feel like I look at professional wrestling and sports entertainment as just terms that kind of they're trying to differentiate between when you do like you focus on matches versus like the over the top. It's kind of like when I look at like NBA 2K versus NBA Jam or NBA Street. You know, one of them is super over the top and, you know, more like, you know, we're trying to, it's about the spectacle, right? Of like, hey, we're just going to have fun with this, make it somewhat cartoony or whatever. Or saying like Space Jam and Blue Chips. You know, one of them is like, hey, okay, we've got Bugs Bunny and all this. Hey, you know, it's just the entertainment. The other one is trying to be real. You know, it's trying to ground it a little bit, you know, and these are both, I guess, features that the products have taken on. Like at times, you'll have Daniel Bryan say, hey, you know, like I want to have like a true wrestling match with, you know, whoever. But then we'll also have Jericho say, I want to have a debate with, you know, whoever.
Yeah, but that's what there are variations, but whether it's the games you're talking about or the movies you're talking about, you know what they all have in common? Basketball.
Right.
So you can have all the variations, but it still falls under the same family. That's why I say it's all relative. It's like when Keith Lee got released and no longer was a sports entertainer, I'm sorry. He didn't go to Hollywood and start doing movies. He went to AEW and wrestled. Same with Daniel Bryan, same with all these WWE superstars and sports entertainers that end up getting cut. They go to other wrestling companies when they get free. They don't go into Hollywood. They don't sit there on a podcast like us. They go back to a ring and they wrestle. So it's all relative, or else these guys wouldn't be going to AEW or Impact or ROH or any of that. They'd be off in Hollywood like The Rock.
I feel you. I think there's just different ways to look at it, which, you know, everything you're saying, the way you're describing it.
Saying, huh?
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, for me, I see it, you know, I see what you're saying, and I feel like nothing you're saying is wrong. You know, and same with you, Devin. The way you're saying and the way you see it, I totally.
But what
get
about
it.
the wrestling though? Because you kind of focus on the wrestling. It's like different styles. But I say like AEW, they do like a sports entertainment of wrestling when it looks highly choreographed. Especially if you look at certain tag teams, and like, come on, like, you know, if this is going to be wrestling, they wouldn't wait for Jungle Boy to.
The term of sports entertainment when it comes to that type of wrestling, and you're saying, well, it's like, oh, it's with the spot fest and everything, and trying to label that as entertainment. But when I'm hearing these wrestlers talk about the two, you know, pro wrestling versus sports entertainment, it seems like from their perspective, when you say sports entertainment, there's that connotation about, you know, it's about the larger than life, the spectacle side of wrestling, you know, whereas with professional wrestling, again, I think Bryan Danielson is probably the biggest one I stand on with that. Like, he looks at himself more as a professional wrestler because of the way that he's a tactician. And when he goes to the ring, like, he's very, like, you know, technical. And it's like that aspect of wrestling. It's all in wrestling. It's all in the bubble of wrestling. But I just feel like there's like nuances to it. There's pieces to it. And both companies do both. They have aspects of both. You know, I think Vince McMahon can say, you know, my company is sports entertainment, but you had a guy like Daniel Bryan Daniel Bryan, Kurt Angle, who they would go in there and have matches. Chris Benoit, Chris Jericho. that were very focused on this is a great technical match and we're going to showcase that.
Yeah.
And then you have, weddings and you have, like all
Blindfold
these other
matches,
things. Blindfold matches that are like, okay, yeah.
Because we can go back since I said 1990. They have blindfold matches and brawn panty matches and all this other stuff.
All sorts of, right.
That was more entertainment than wrestling, but then they had the other side of that coin too in that same span with like Ric Flair and the Macho Man or, whoever were real technical wrestling matches. And every promotion that succeeds uses both sides of that coin. Like, maybe we put a little entertainment in our wrestling, or maybe like WWE, we put a little wrestling in our entertainment.
Right.
But it's short and sweet. It's not WSE, it's WWE. So they can say whatever the fuck they want, but wrestling is in the name.
Right. No, facts, man.
Which means it's all relative because they call themselves a sports entertainment company. They got wrestling in their damn name.
Right.
You know what the problem is? Vince McMahon has lost his fucking mind. That's what the problem is. And when you agree with what Vince said, along with a guy like Nick Khan, who is the opposite of Tony, then you might have a problem. That's all I'm saying. Like Bruce came up with something like, sports entertainment is 90% entertainment and 10% wrestling. I'm like, in that case, MJF is a sports entertainer.
Yep.
I hate to say it, but the man literally before the match with Punk,
I mean,
what was
fair.
He had the 6 man.
Yeah,
he had the 6 man like the month before, and the month before that he had the match in Long Island. So he had like one match a month, but he was on TV every week, running his mouth every week.
Yeah, you don't
and then maybe
he'd
wrestle once every 3 or 4 weeks. If that's your definition of sports entertainment, MJF is a sports entertainer, and he got so fucking mad. And I'm like, your words, not mine.
Oh, man. No, I think that's right on. I think that's another way to look at it too, is that there are some wrestlers that'll lean more on. I mean, if you're more, you're the promos and everything, that's what MJF leads with, and he barely wrestles, and he's becoming this larger than life character. Like, his character feeds more into the sports entertainment side of wrestling, whereas you'll look at I don't know, let's say Adam Hangman Page, right? Like for him, there's kind of a little bit of both. I mean, he's trying to be this fighting. Yeah, there's this balance with him because he's trying to be this fighting champion. He goes out and he's having these long matches, these hour-long like technical fests and brawls and all that. But then he has this kind of character, which it's not fully fleshed out, but it's there. He's a cowboy. He's got the whole like the gear he wears and everything. Like it's like order. Exactly. There's a balance to him, So I think it's a fun debate. I feel like, we could go on.
Yeah, this is a good conversation, man.
I like it.
If wrestling wasn't entertaining, why would anybody watch it?
That's a great point. Man. Fair point. Because honestly, I just want to be entertained. I really, at the end of the day, just want to be entertained.
So it's all the same. Right? If it wasn't entertaining, we aren't sitting here right now talking about it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, fair. That's a fair point. Man, and speaking of entertainment, so were we entertained by this Inner Circle implosion? Were we entertained? Meeting? This mandatory meeting.
I think you're overselling this a little bit because they didn't even implode completely. They just kind of went like, sold. All right, we're gonna put a pin in next week. It's like, just get it over with. Like, let it go. Sammy's a bigger star than any of you. Let it go. Chris Jericho is built like a Cracker Barrel and doing other shit now. Let it go. When was the last time you saw Jake Hager before last Wednesday? Let it go.
Yeah. I mean, that's a great point. So right now, you think it should have just like right there, let's go ahead and end this. Let's say the Inner Circle's done. Everybody goes their separate ways. Let's not drag this out. I feel like that's a fair point. And I kind of took it as it is over. They're just not officially saying it. Like when Sammy said, hey, I left once before. I'll do it again, and dropped his vest and said, figure it out.
He just walked out.
I was kind of like, oh, wait, he said figure it out. That means we're still going to kind of.
That's what I mean. It went from bold to passive aggressive in one line. Figure it out. Like,
I was like, dude.
I was with you, Sammy.
Chris Jericho's being Chris Jericho. It was all about him.
Yeah.
Santana
Like,
was right.
Man, I gotta get this off my
Santana
chest
was right.
because last week, you didn't go for the tag and the people wanted Chris Jericho to wrestle.
Oh man. So I guess one question then, with this, by the way, I was just thinking about this is, are you more team Santana Ortiz or more team Chris Jericho in this whole debate? Like, whose side are you on in their
that's
issue
good.
right now?
I gotta be honest. I'm kind of more leaning towards Santana and Ortiz, but at the same time, I would only wish that like my podcast and as well as yours was held down the way P&P have been, because we'd be blown the fuck up. Main event matches and top spots and all this shit, and they're being held back. Like, I do agree with a lot of what they said, but at the same time, when they talk about being held back, I'm like, I wish I was held back like you.
What you think, Devin? Which side you on?
Oh man, I love I'm feeling like Chris Jericho want to go back to heel. If he wants to, I'll fuck with it. I honestly will fuck with it, man.
Oh,
He
man.
threatened like PNP was like, you know what? Maybe we got the wrong two members of LAX. I was like, oh shit.
Yeah. Hey Hager,
He went there.
Call
He didn't need to-
Homicide and Hernandez.
Right.
I was like, damn.
Wow.
Damn, Chris. He didn't have to be like that, but okay. All right. So
I love
if
Jericho
he
as
wants to
anything.
tease, like, all right, if we're gonna kick possibly Santana Ortiz out, if they tell that story, that would be fun too. Maybe he'll replace members of the Inner Circle. I don't know, keep the Inner Circle going, but
could be a retool as well. But I love Jericho no matter what. But as a heel,
Oh, yeah.
there's nothing better than heel Jericho. Jesus Christ.
Now, Devin, I'm gonna hold your feet a little bit to the fire though, because it sounds like you're into the Jericho character if he turns heel, and that's what you're excited about. But I guess the original question though was around the two sides of this argument, because on one side you have Santana Ortiz saying that they've been held back, and Jericho is saying, hey, like, that's on you guys. You guys had that opportunity and you lost. That wasn't me. So, do you think Santana Ortiz are justified in how mad they are right now? Or you think Jericho is just, hey, he helped them. He put them in main events. They should be grateful. They should have gratitude for the fact that this man put them in the spotlight.
I'm gonna go Dorsey. They're both right, actually.
Oh,
no. Let me finish. Let me finish. No. They're both right because
He's like, that's a weak take.
because Pride and Powerful, there was one time I remember we had like this Inner Circle tag team match, and then I think Chris Jericho insisted that like him and Sam was gonna go for the gold, but I remember I'm like, what about Pride and Powerful? So there is situations that he was there that he kind of took the spotlight from them. But then you look at Pride and Powerful, they had matches off their own. They had the feud with FTR. What about Best Friends? The parking lot that had nothing to do with Chris Jericho, bro. So that's what I'm saying. It's a little bit of both. It's a little bit both.
I think honestly, I'm Team Jericho on this debate. I'm Team Jericho, man. I'm sorry. Here's the problem with what Proud and Powerful are saying. They're saying, yeah, they were held back. It's always about him. Like, they could have been tag team champions, but he held them back. Eddie Kingston put that in their head. And, he's right. Like, it's all about Jericho. It's all about Jericho. This whole time, where I was mad at Jericho actually is he didn't just point over to Sammy and say, so I held you guys back. So I held Sammy back too, right? This man is wearing 2 championships. He's literally in the ring.
Yeah, it's staring at you right now. Like, I got
holding him back.
I held him back.
He's 2 titles. I'm holding him back.
Man, I was like, bro, I see what you did.
Right?
Yeah. He's got 2 championships.
I didn't even think about that. It's staring right at me. It's staring right in my face. I feel like an idiot for not even noticing that.
I'm looking at it. I'm like, this whole thing is funny because they're literally sitting here talking about they can't be tag champs because he's holding them back.
Okay.
Like, it's the spotlight's all about him. Yeah, the only one with championship gold in that ring is Sammy. Where was Jericho?
Hafiz is kind of convincing me. I'm kind of with Jericho now.
Jericho,
because He's
And
made
Jericho did
Hager
give him the
relevant.
main events. He made Hager relevant. He put Proud and Powerful in main events, Stadium Stampede matches, all that good stuff. They were there for all that. And they did have tag team title opportunities. They actually fought each other. They fought each other for an opportunity to be
Chris
tag team
Jericho is
champions.
showing proof, and Pride and Powerful is not.
There's facts. When he said the dates, I said, "Oh shit, he just killed them right now." Like the date, he had the date, the actual event, the match. He said, "Where was I? I stopped you from getting that win, right?" No, I was like, "Oh,
No.
it's over. It's over." I was with Santana Ortiz in the beginning.
Eddie
because I
Kingston
did feel like-
instigating.
I was on the show. You can see it.
Dude, and I was like, okay, Santana Ortiz, I want you guys to be tag team champions too. And yes, Jericho, the spotlight's about him. But then Jericho started talking, and I'm looking at Sammy, and I'm saying, you know what? It's not on him. It's on y'all.
Man,
Like, y'all, the opportunity is there. Look at your boy Sammy.
it's literally hitting me while we're doing this. Like, Eddie Kingston is basically to Santana and Ortiz what like Yoko Ono was to John Lennon. Like, she just walked in and started talking shit.
Yeah.
And he just dipped.
Right. And he's gone. Like, where you at, man? This dude
Like,
that has your back.
biggest band on the face of the earth. He's like, fuck y'all, Yoko said so, and he left. That's Santana and Ortiz. Look it up, boys and girls, if you don't know.
Oh, man. So
I know I'm an old
man.
head. Look it up.
So I thought, watching it, I'm like, this is a cool debate, but I wish, it would have just ended right then and there. Like, just go ahead and split up, go your separate ways. They're gonna have this matchup, and maybe finally with this matchup it'll be over. But I kind of have a feeling it won't be done here. Maybe they do something at Revolution. Where finally it's over.
Yeah.
And maybe they get replaced, officially, and Jericho turns heel. So I think that probably be the way to do it. But
you think you can be heel with people like 90% of the people, 98% of the people sing his song?
That's another problem too.
Like,
I thought Proud and Powerful would turn heel because Jericho, just that fact alone, that people are going to sing along to a song and people are going to love Jericho regardless. It's going to be hard to sell him as a true heel with all that going on. But Proud and Powerful, I could see them as being a strong heel tag team. Like just doing their own thing. Like dude, the promo that they were cutting to, like the way they were telling, hey man, like I ain't done talking. Like you'll just the way he shut up Chris Jericho, I was like, oh shit.
He controlled that promo.
Yeah.
He controlled that whole
Jericho
segment.
was like, shut
Now
the
you
fuck
can
up.
speak.
You're right. I was like,
Now you may speak. I was like, wow. The shade. Whoo.
Dude, man, that was wild. But
You could
but
smell the petty coming off the screen.
the crowd seemed to be pushing, like they were, I guess, more on the side of Santana and Ortiz. Like you could hear more cheers during the promo for them. And even, they were mentioning like, for these people, like they were more interacting with the people, whereas Jericho was kind of like, I think they're definitely planning on turning Jericho heel with this, but it's going to be hard, man, with Jericho being as popular as he is. So we'll see what happens there. Yeah.
I don't know though. AEW's stubborn. They're still trying to push Cody and Brandy as fucking faces.
Oh, dude. Yeah, no, man. You can't.
They can do it. If anybody could do it, AEW can. Look at what they're doing with the Rhodes family. Like, well, Brandy made Dan Lambert look likable.
Yeah.
No parts of that.
Wish.com corny looked likable. Thank you, Brandy Rhodes.
Thank you, Brandy. You did this.
That's a monumental feat in itself, especially with the shit he was saying.
Man, yeah. But speaking of monumental feat, this was a monumental moment as far as women's wrestling goes in AEW.
Yeah.
It finally happened.
Another 2 times.
Twice. Hey, MJF didn't just only beat CM Punk twice, but we had 2 women's wrestling matches.
Back to back.
Back to back. It happened. It felt like, okay, is Tony listening? Is he listening? Wow. Is he hearing? Is he starting to say, you know what? Let's give this a shot. Let's see what's going on. So yeah, we had it. We had 2 women's wrestling matches. We had Jade Cargill defend her TBS championship against AQA. and we had the Professor's 5-minute rookie challenge. It was Serena Deeb versus Katie Arquette.
Versus, don't even say your name. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't even matter. It doesn't even matter.
Serena Deeb, if there's a 5-minute clock, you are disposable.
Irrelevant.
Insert Hammenegger here.
Oh man. So Devin, how'd you feel, man, when you saw this, man? Like, what was your reaction to seeing not one but 2 women's wrestling matches on Dynamite?
Just shocked, and when Serena Deeb walked out there, I'm like, what's going on? That's what I looked at. I was like, I know.
Are my eyes deceiving me?
Right. She's talking. I'm like, a promo. I'm like,
did I get a stronger string this
wrestling
week?
the ring. I'm like, I know this ain't what I'm seeing. Oh shit, we about to have a match. Serena Deeb 5-minute match. Start the countdown. Locked up. Wow. I was like, oh shit. And then just took care of business, man. 1, 2, 3. I was like, wow. We had back-to-back women's matches. I had to applaud that. You got to reward. You got to applaud good behavior. And this is a good behavior from AEW, man.
Yes.
Cannot overlook that.
Yes.
Not on this podcast.
Right. Hey, I was calling it out. And as soon as I saw Serena Deeb come out, I said, what? Okay.
No, I
taking up like this is we talked about this on the show. We talked about this on the show.
I love coming on this show, but before I ever came on this show, I was a fan first, and I listen and I watch you guys, and I hear you week after week after week say we need 2 matches on Dynamite. We need 2 matches.
Me too.
So when it finally happened, you 2 were the first ones I thought of. I was like, damn it, they're gonna be happy now.
Yes. Oh man.
And I was too. Like Sarita looked so strong. It was great. Even sit back in the corner, going like this, looking at the clock, like she looked like Hammenegger's on the ground, like, oh, I got time. Okay, all right, let's tap her out now. I know the internet had a little fun with Jade Cargill and AQA, but I guess rightfully so. But there were a few people telling AQA she needs to get Booker T to give her money back.
Oh man, she was actually in NXT. I think she was in NXT. I remember her right away. I'm like, I've seen her.
Was she in NXT?
I don't know if she was in NXT. I'm just going off of what
I had to look
when
her. I had to look her
like
up.
Jim Ross loudly announced, this young lady was trained by Booker T.
Booker T. Yep.
And after that match, I'll be everywhere. People say, like, you need to tell Booker to give you your money back because what the fuck just happened?
Oh my god!
And I thought the moment was just too big for her because, like, I think I had seen her in his promotion in Texas a few times and a couple little places, and she's not bad. But you go from a certain pond to like right into the deep end of the ocean,
right?
Like
you're a guppy, you're swimming with sharks.
Honestly, I didn't think she was that bad. I think her timing was just off with Jade. Like,
yeah, it was.
Just don't work with each other that long. That's when you gotta just work within your company. But Tony wants to bring in someone new. That's cool. She got a beautiful. What's that move she did?
Shooting star press.
Shooting star press. Yeah. Very, very smooth in the air, man.
I got a good reaction from the crowd. Yeah.
Yep.
I popped for it, but like she just that chemistry wasn't there, and it made it look a little rough, and it was just I felt bad for her, but I wouldn't have gone as far as say like the IWC did with you need to get your money back, you can't do this.
Man.
Okay, let's see you do it then.
Right.
You see that shooting star press? You do
it.
Right. But overall, I'm with you guys. Like, round of applause, back-to-back women's matches finally happened. Just
yes, definitely. I'm gonna applaud the moment for sure. I feel like the 2 back-to-back women's matches, was a great start as far as AEW giving the women more time, and showcasing the women more. I feel like this is a step in the right direction. The only thing that I would have wished for is that they would have had, taken their top wrestler, like have Jade go against somebody who is more seasoned on their roster.
Yeah.
They picked someone who was super green, to have her go up against. I wish it would have been someone. Yeah, and they have the people, on the roster to be able to do that. So,
Exactly.
us saying that we want to see the women's division featured more is because we recognize that they have so much talent,
Oh, no, I'm
in
with
that
y'all.
division now. Yeah. And this isn't against you at all, Dom. It's when I saw it was this, AQA, and again, I said I remembered her from, I believe it was on NXT that I'd seen her before, and she was okay, and I remember the Shooting Star Press, but I'm like, okay, well, what about Chris Statlander? What about Thunder Rosa? What about some of these other women that you have, Layla Hirsch? Like, it would have been cool to, have Jade defending, on Dynamite against them, and just showcase them. Like AQA, I feel like someone like that on Dark makes sense. She can build up herself there and gain her confidence. But there's plenty of confident women in that locker room to have two wrestling matches back to back still. The same back to back matches, but just put two of your more seasoned wrestlers
vets
on there, and they have them there.
It's a
go
proven,
ahead.
I'm sorry. It's a proven formula. I hate to bring him up again, but go back to Goldberg's first run. And everybody he fought was a veteran. Whether it was Bill DeMont, Mongo, William Regal, all that, because he wasn't the most experienced and the most trained. So they put him in a ring with guys who could help him throughout the match. They need to do that type of thing with Jade instead of putting her in with somebody who is essentially greener than she is.
Yeah.
Right.
Somebody outside the company. You gotta put Jade in to, to succeed. So I thought that was just a learning opportunity for Tony Khan, because he's the one booking. So instead of going outside your company, go with a seasoned vet. Yeah, you got him. Somebody who's familiar with Jade. Maybe they train, during their off days. And so it will be a decent match that you see on TV instead of just what we got.
Even if you wanted to bring in somebody, to fight Jade, there are plenty of seasoned vets that aren't working right now that you could have brought in and put in the ring with her and had her beat. See, like last Friday with Ricky Starks and Jay Lethal for the FTW title, and that sick fucking finish. Like, I can't get that out of my mind. Where Jay was flipping for the lethal injection and Ricky caught him and just roasted him, bowed him like in mid flip. Like, Ricky is a little bit more experienced, but he's not the most experienced cat. Jay Lethal, on the other hand, is one of the most experienced professional wrestlers in the business. So once you put those two together, you get something like that. When you put two people who are green and greener and don't have any chemistry, you're gonna get what you got Wednesday.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, even I don't know, Diamante, she's there. Like, just people like that just have more experience. Put them in there with Jade to make her look good and just to help guide those matches. I think that'd be great. But overall, I feel like, again, one other thing I want to take away from this too is the crowd reaction. I felt was really important, because in AEW, I give that crowd a lot of respect, because they are like, they won't just outright like boo a match or say this is boring, or do what like a WWE crowd would do in a lot of these situations where maybe it's a little bit off. Like, they're patient, and it felt like almost like a New Japan or just a very respectful crowd that was like, okay, we're watching, we know what's going on there. Right. We're gonna enjoy this for what it is in this moment. Right. And it was great to see. I was like, okay, this is cool, because there were some spots where it's like, hey, this could be a little bit better, but it's just the chemistry between these two. Not that the women's division is a weak division, because again, they have many people in AEW's women's division that are way better than AQA is. Yes, Anna Jay, Tay Conti, Chris Statlander, Thunder Rosa, the Britt Bakers of the world, champion Sheeta, Serena. Like, there's so many people that
even Kira Hogan.
Yeah, exactly. Kira Hogan. Yeah, just there's so many that I would have preferred. I feel like, again, and I think we've said this before, like on Dynamite, you use that and put those top women on there, and I don't care if it's just like you're using the same group of like, say, 10 women over and over again, cycling through them on Dynamite and Rampage. And then on Dark is where you have, okay, those up and comers kind of like getting their feet wet and starting to get trained and a little bit better for the in-ring. Like, that to me makes a whole lot of sense. Like, putting AQA here in this moment and then saying like, for other people that are like, oh, like she like that spotlight is big for her and maybe too big. That's a great point. And it could be true. But that shouldn't be indicative of like, well, you see, the women's division, this is why Tony Khan doesn't put them out there because, look at what happened. No, like there are women that are so much more talented in AQA and just, there's like, levels to their talent.
And my head hurts because he practically ripped that out of my mind. Like, no lie. I was about to say, you could have plenty of women on Dynamite if you came up with like, okay, this is the Dynamite Rampage tier, and here's all the women we're going to use. And then the rest of you are going to be on Dark. You're going to be on Elevation. You're going to learn. You're going to grow. And then maybe you will get to that level. But for right now, kind of like NXT and main roster, where, Tony has said this is their developmental system. Okay. Figure out who your developmental level people are and keep them off your national TV shows until they're ready. And let the bulk of your roster, your Sheetas, your Brits, your Thunder Roses, Jade, whoever, let them go out and have their matches on TV that people will enjoy. And then if other people want to come and see the future, they can check out YouTube.
Yep.
Yeah.
There you go. Hey, I said it. I said, show your strengths, hide your weaknesses. Plain and simple.
Yep. Yeah. 100%.
And that's how you do it. But, you don't want to watch YouTube? Well, we're going to keep these women on YouTube till they're ready.
Oh man. Yeah, man. So we're in agreement there. So moving forward with this, so CM Punk, we mentioned him a little bit earlier. So Max basically said, hey, like you got to go find a partner. It can't be Sting, it can't be Darby. And he did find a partner, and it was Jon Moxley, which got a reaction out of me. It was a great moment to see like them together, and it kind of brought back the fact that when the Shield, here we are. Shield,
and we're talking about Moxley.
Yeah, right. The lunatic fringe himself. When the Shield were debuting, initially they were supposed to be the bodyguards of CM Punk, and so looking at that and seeing like, oh, I need a tag team partner. Who's it going to be? And he brings in, Jon Moxley to have his back. I'm like, oh man, like this is, I don't know. It was just like one of those moments. So I'm like, oh shit, that's really cool. Just see them teamed up again and being in a I guess storyline together again. So I don't know. What were your guys' takes on just seeing Moxley and CM Punk teamed up, and just this match in general with them and FTR?
Oh, I marked out, man. Just hearing his music, I was like, oh shit! I didn't even expect that as a partner for CM Punk, actually. So it was a good mark out moment for me just to see him. They got some smooth, good chemistry too, and it was a good tag match between them and FTR, man. FTR being them Stone Cold Heels, trying to use every trick in the book. And it was just a fun, good tag match, man. It got you invested. Had an emotional effect to it too, man. So yeah, it was just fun, all out fun.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a great match. You thought it was over 3 or 4 times on both sides. Like, oh, FTR got it. Whoa, Mox broke it up. Oh, damn, they're gonna win. No, Dax broke it up. And by the way, that introduction is a hell of a playlist. Like you go from Cult of Personality to Wild Thing. The party is on.
Yes.
I mean, I loved it. It was more than worth the main event of Dynamite. They had a great match. It was back and forth, and what else could you ask for at that point?
Yep.
And now you got me thinking back, like the very first Shield bomb was on the legend known as Ryback. When CM Punk was fighting him for the title.
Yeah. Oh man, that's true. Yeah, just it's great to see these two guys teamed up a little bit, and also too we've been getting that tease of Bryan Danielson potentially teamed up with Jon Moxley. And I guess just to revisit that real quick, because I mean Rampage went on today and I wasn't able to see that, but we'll see what happened. By the time this comes out, people already know. But do you think, actually, Dom, I'll ask you this, because Devin and I have talked about this a little bit, but what are your thoughts on Bryan Danielson and Jon Moxley potentially teaming up? You think it's going to happen? You think this is more of just a tease to build up their match, or where you stand with this?
When Brian confronted John and started talking to him, I was like, oh, they need to fight. This is going to be great. And then he started talking about teaming up and getting Daniel Garcia, Lee Moriarty, and all them, and taking them under the wing and making sure the future of AEW is set. I was like, oh, God, that would be great, too. And so now all of a sudden, I'm sitting there like the girl from The Gift just going, why not both? Like, y'all can fight, and then you can get respect for one another, and then you can team up and do this shit.
Yeah.
Like, it's gold no matter what you do with it, but why not both?
Yeah, man. I feel like it would be interesting. My gut tells me that Moxley's going to say no. You know, I feel like he's just going to say no, and, you know, this is just teasing, like, the matchup between them. But I think Bryan Danielson will have a stable. He's going to go ahead and do it one way or another. If they do have him and John team up, that would be interesting. At least in the beginning, like, have them team up, have them do this, but maybe there's a disagreement with how they're doing, you know, how they're training them or how they're bringing them up, and that leads to the split or whatever. So I'm cool either way.
We're not gonna recycle the Nightmare Factory. We're not gonna
Look.
I mean, this would be better, but I still don't want to do it.
Fair enough. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. It's kind of interesting, you know. And then with CM Punk teaming with John Moxley, it was kind of interesting. Like, okay, so you'll team with CM Punk. Will you team with Bryan Danielson? Because he was asking you, you know, like, and you team with this other dude. Like, what's going on, man?
I just had two questions pop into mind, if you guys don't mind. Number one, is the offer from Bryan more enticing than the offer from Jericho to join the Inner Circle?
Damn, that's a good question.
Yeah.
This is why I do a show.
Well, yeah, he was giving him like a Ford Mustang, like a top Ford Mustang.
Yeah, they got like the Ford GT or whatever. It was like a $200,000 car.
Ownership of Inner Circle, something like that.
Yeah.
And he said he joined and he swerved him and he hit him with the bottle of champagne, took the keys, and he dipped.
Yeah. Well, I think that so the offer from Jericho, you know, as great as the offer was, it never felt like totally sincere. It felt like he was just doing this so that, you know, Moxley would be on his side and he wouldn't have to fight him. But with Bryan Danielson, I think Bryan really does want to team up with John, and he wants to do this.
Yeah.
And that's where I think John turning him down will actually be more interesting than when John turned down Jericho, because I think Bryan will actually be truly upset with the fact that this guy disrespected him. Yeah. With Jericho was more like you know, okay, you saw through it. You know, like, yeah, Jericho was mad, but it was kind of like, the way I took it was, okay, John saw through the BS. Right. But this one, I think, oh no, Bryan really wants this, and John's about to say no, and he's gonna be real upset about this, right? Like,
yeah. And then
you can see like Daniel Garcia, you know, Wheeler Yulia come out, jump him, and
right.
Now the second question I had was, considering the history, what if all three of them decide to gang up and take these guys under their wing? What if we get Punk, Bryan, and Mox?
Oh, that'd be insane. That'd be oh my god, that'd be really cool, actually.
That would be a clique you can't fuck with.
Would they do it for them?
Man, I
don't think so. It's too much.
I know I'm not booking these things. I'm not booking these things for AEW, but I feel like if Punk would have moved on from MJF and then gotten this tag match, and then, you know, and Bryan comes out, starts talking to Mox, and the next thing you know, you hear Cult of Personality, and CM Punk comes out, gets his 2 cents in, and says, "How about we all do this?" That would have been a better route.
I think that crowd would have lost their minds, honestly, if you
Punk
had
MJF part 2 or 3, since he beat him twice.
right, part 3, right. Yeah, and I'm just trying to your point, yeah, if somehow they would have ended that, and then Bryan Danielson comes out during a tag match between those two, and they all say, okay, let's do this. Like, I think that crowd would just be like, holy shit, what? These three guys together? Like, what?
Yeah.
That would just be wild. Like, that would be wild if they really did it. I feel like that'd be super cool. Will they do it? I feel like they're not. It doesn't seem like they're going in that direction because CM Punk still has this thing with MJF.
Yeah.
But You
No,
know,
I mean, it looks like they're
that's-
going in a different route, but at the same
I'm
time,
more interested in your story than what they're doing right now. I'll tell you right now, because I just want Wardlow and MJF. Like, I want to see that, you know, the CM Punk MJF thing. Like, it was what it was, and it was cool, and I enjoyed it. I loved it. But now I'm ready to move on. And the Bryan Danielson, John Moxley thing has you thinking like, hey, whatever they do, I'm in. And if you throw CM Punk into that shit, okay. I'm with it.
Yeah, this is a story that's not really predictable because it has different variants to it that it can go like, hey, John Moxley can decline, or would they team up? Would they get their faction together, man? So that would be interesting to see, man.
You know, Marvel did it. This is AEW's What If.
Right. Yeah.
Every now and then, I like where I'm okay with where they're going with all this. I'm just saying, every now and then, some good creative comes out of the mind of this lunatic. Every now and then.
Oh, man. Now, do you think that? Let's just play a little bit of fantasy booking here. Do you think that group would work better as faces or heels?
Ooh. You know what?
Heels.
They'd probably be better as heels.
I
Yeah.
would say heels. Yeah.
Not with a you got Daniel Garcia in there too.
I know.
Heels, bro.
Yeah.
I'm okay. Like,
Yeah.
he's, you know, I get he's happy now, but I like Punk better as a heel. You know, Mox as a heel is a dangerous motherfucker. I'm not talking. Yes, I know, lunatic fringe. I gotta take a small kayfabe break. Mox himself as a heel, we're talking like CZW. We're talking about, he would kill a motherfucker, like straight up. And we've seen what the Dragon is doing as a heel, and the shit is beautiful. It's like he's mixed some of his indie stuff in with some of his, you know, prior life stuff in the E, like, you know, coming out and calling fans fickle again. I fucking love it.
I love it.
It's like I know AEW
Fickle.
fans love pro wrestling. I know you guys love this stuff.
all he had to say was WrestleMania, and he was the biggest heel in AEW one night.
And honestly, that's what I want. That's what I want. When I asked the question, I was thinking I already knew my answer was heels, and I kind of want because it's not even an elephant in the room. Like, we all know, it's the fact that they all came from WWE. They all have that, you know, experience. So if they were to lean into that and be like, you guys are playing on a small scale, you know, you're big fish in a small pond or whatever, you know, and we've went all the way to WrestleMania.
You ain't been where I've been.
Yeah,
we've seen what I've seen. You haven't done what I've done.
Right. Like, y'all beneath us, you know.
I've won more championships than you've had birthdays. Get the hell over here and learn.
Learn, right. All these
you're going to learn today.
Right, exactly. But then be real disrespectful. Say, Adam Hangman Page, you should want to be in this group too. You should want to learn from us too. Like,
you might as well hand me that title because you ain't on my level.
Sammy Guevara, you should want to learn. Like, just all the top dogs and like the all
everybody.
Yeah, all y'all should want to learn from us.
Jurassic Express. What do you think you're going to learn
Bryan
from Christian?
Danielson.
Get the hell over here.
The way he's coming after wrestlers, calling Jurassic Express like they're jokes. Like Dante Martin with his flippity floppity.
Got the cosplay dinosaur and the wannabe cowboy.
I'm like, this dude.
I was like, is this
He's
Bryan
about
Danielson?
now he's about pro wrestling, bro. He's just
I had to take a minute and think to myself when I heard him say it. I was like, is this Bryan Danielson or Dan Lambert? What the fuck? He just said the same shit Lambert said 2 weeks ago, only I like it.
He called Orange Cassidy Pockets. That pockets. I was like, damn.
I fucking love it. I love it. I'm telling you, man, that's what. So if you do this AEW, I feel like, hey, you gotta make them heels. You gotta make them heels. Yeah. Give them all their powers. Have them at 100% of their powers. Because we all know that's how it works with these characters, man. When they're heels, they get to be their fullest selves.
Yes.
CM Punk as a heel, Bryan Danielson as a heel, John Moxley as that killer heel. All
That's
together.
an elite group. That is an elite faction right there.
Yeah. Shut it
you
down.
You might as well just, if they put those three together, you might as well just mint trios titles and give them to them. Like, no tournament. Just,
here you go.
Start with us.
Right.
It's you. It's all of you.
Right.
You got this. Here you go.
We got these, right.
But, you know, like, Just bonus AEW moment for a sec, because it just dawned on me. Like, yes, we had 2 women's matches, but for the first time in AEW history, somebody actually mentioned Bullet Club by name.
Yes.
They've done the 2 sweets. They've said the Elite. They've done all that, but they've never mentioned Bullet Club until it came out of Adam Cole's mouth.
Adam Cole. Yep. Your
Bullet Club for life.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was like, man,
Adam
that
Cole,
forbidden
he's a
door is
sneaky
wide
one.
open.
Sneaky one, man. I see what he's doing.
He was trying to sneak it, but I caught it.
That's perfect. So where do we think we're going with this? Like, are we going to delve more into the Bullet Club in AEW? Do we want that? Do we want to go all the way with this and get some more interaction with Bullet Club, or is it okay being a one and done as far as mentioning that and let's just have Jay White kind of show up and do his own thing? Like, what do we want to see happen with this whole situation?
Oh
now?
man,
I want to see some gelling. I do want to see some Jay White, Adam Cole in the same scene. I want to see that because I like what Adam Cole is doing on a subtle level. You know, the Young Bucks are too stupid right now to see it because they clearly don't see that Adam Cole is building a faction right in front of your eyes.
Can we say,
What you tell us
like,
about,
can we
inviting Jay White?
Showing up. What the hell's going on?
Can we just take a moment and call a
Enjoy.
spade, so to speak? You do realize that Jay White just became the fill-in Roddy, right? Like, he's already got Red Dragon.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
Roddy's tied up.
Dude.
Jay White.
Yeah.
And then Kenny comes back, and maybe they get, but maybe we end up
yeah.
with like a Bullet Club feud that spans AEW and New Japan.
New Japan, get God,
Because they're
everybody
bringing
in.
more of New Japan into AEW. It seems week by week. Like first, like the Chaos faction showed up when Rocky Romero came in,
Yep.
and then Roppongi Vice, and now we got Jay White and Bullet Club being mentioned, and all this stuff. And it feels like, obviously, when AEW started, they were not on good terms with New Japan, but it feels like all of a sudden they have got together.
Yeah.
And that is some amazing shit.
Yeah.
I'm hoping when ROH comes back, they see the light.
Yeah.
Because they could get involved, and they got some people, and they could bring, and they go back and forth. Maybe we even get All In back. You never know.
Yeah, man, dude. I feel like the possibilities are great there. I'm excited to see wherever they go with this. I'm hoping that we play into this a little bit more. And I think, Devin, that was a great point. Like, they don't see it, but he is building a faction right in front of their faces.
He really is, though.
And they're just like,
stupid.
what's going on? You didn't tell us.
They're too busy trying to match their Jordans to their tasseled outfits to notice that Adam Cole is just forming a whole group right around them, and they ain't in it.
They're going to be 10 members deep. And then
they still think like,
oh,
think like, oh yeah, we're cool. Triple kiss. No.
Yeah, no,
shit
no.
Any minute now, Adam Cole.
Any
minute now, Adam Cole is gonna be like, you can triple kiss my ass, and they're gonna whoop the shit out of them.
Right.
And Brandon Cutler just for being there.
To kill me.
Remember when you tried to kill me? Payback.
Right. Remember? I remember.
Oh my God. It's gonna be not that he wasn't in NXT, but Adam Cole is so fucking good.
He's awesome. Good. He's awesome. Yeah, we were talking about last week a little bit, like some people saying, Adam Cole, he's, is not as good as he was in NXT. They're making him look weak. He lost to Orange. Shut up. Like, calm down. Calm down.
It didn't count. It didn't fucking count, y'all.
Like, shut up.
It was a lights out match. It didn't count.
Let's just relax.
Right.
Adam Cole. Damn Adam Cole. He's going to be just fine. Relax.
It was like Kenny was still undefeated after Mox beat him because it was a lights out match.
Yeah.
Same thing with Britt. All that. It didn't count. Orange Cassidy can win the match when it don't count.
Exactly. It's unsanctioned.
Every match on record, Adam Cole beat him.
the rankings. Well, guess what, guys? It wasn't in the
Number
rankings.
one.
Not reflected in the rankings. Yeah, he's still number one.
Oh yeah, he's fallen off all the way to number one.
Right, exactly. Like, come on, man.
That's what I mean. I want to be held back. I want to be held back like P&P and fall off like Adam Cole. I will be set for life.
Let me have that.
Let me have all
I
that.
honestly don't get it. Like, why are they bitching about Adam Cole?
Like,
It's I don't know, man.
People just want to hate. Some people just want to hate. That's just what it is. You know?
I hate to say it, I almost like his music better than Undisputed Era's. I'm sorry, but
oh, dude, the boom. Oh, that shit is. That's a banger.
My son does not stop singing that shit every time. Like at Wednesday, Adam Cole comes out. For 2 days straight, my son is walking around going, it's all about the boo.
Yeah. Oh, dude. It is. Look, I love that Undisputed Era music. And I was sad on NXT when they changed both him and Colorado's names to like just default character number 2 and 3 music from WWE 2K. Yeah,
create a superstar.
Like the $1 Million Pyramid music from Kyle O'Reilly. Like,
heel music 3. Click.
Yeah, right. Man. Exactly. Just,
Disco 7.
Like,
what the fuck is this?
Yeah. Like, that was hard. But then, Adam Cole leaves, it comes in, and day one, he has a banger as his thing. Oh my goodness. And then it's all timed and everything with the beat like he did and with Undisputed. Oh, dude. It's great. It's great, man. I just yes.
I'm the best.
That's, I mean, I'm a generous person. I would like for all of us here to be held back like P&P and fall off like Adam Cole.
Hold me back like Pride Powerful.
Hold us all down like that.
Right.
Yeah.
Let us all fall like that.
All the way to number 1.
We will be held back and fall all the way to the fucking bank.
Right. Facts, man.
Get the fuck out of here. Come on.
My God. So yeah, just people need to calm down, man. Adam Cole is gonna be just fine. All right, man. And speaking of Adam Cole too, speaking of an Adam, the main event had a championship on the line. Lance Archer versus Adam Hangman Page. Texas death match, dude. Oh my God, this match.
Jersey.
Oh yeah, right.
We have Texas death matches everywhere but Texas. Tokyo, Jersey, wherever the fuck. Just not Texas.
It'd be redundant,
Right.
Texas,
right? Why are we having it?
Texas death match?
You're like having a Philly street fight in New York.
Oh man. So hey, Dom, talk to us about this match, man. Like, what did you think of this matchup?
Well, as you guys know, what I've said time and time again, I grew up in Bingo Hall. Okay, so this was a weekly occurrence for me, but it hasn't been for a long fucking time. So while I'm watching this, and Hangman's literally donning the crimson mask, and there's barbed wire, tables, and chairs, and even Lambert like fucking pulling down the top rope so Hangman can't do the buckshot. I'm like, wait a minute, homie. Archer puts him up there for the drop, right? Like,
Yes.
I remember the name now. Yeah. Skipping my mind, but what I'm saying, for the finisher. Yeah. So like, you're fucking him up too, homie.
Yeah. Oh, dude.
But then that finish. Oh my God.
Mm-hmm. Off of the ref's back. It was
so smooth.
Dude,
it was so smooth. It was so smooth, bro.
So
yes.
I literally had said out loud, like, man, this was so smart of Dan Lambert. He's not going to be able to do his finisher. Like, how's he going to do it?
Shit.
And then
he's like, oh, I'm going to show you.
Aha.
I mean, and hit it so hard and clean that they both went over the first table completely and hit the second one. It was wow.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Like this shit. Awesome. Oh my God. Like that made up for 20 some years of bloodlust that I lost when ECW folded. Like that was beautiful for me. Like, my inner Bingo Hall kid was doing backflips and throwing popcorn and trying to say, use my sign,
Oh, man. It was awesome. It was awesome.
Oh, it was
like
beautiful.
You said, the crimson mask from both guys, man. It was everything as far as like, hardcore matches and everything that we had seen back in the day with like ECW and some of these other companies. But it's just so entertaining overall. Both guys just brought it. It was awesome. Yeah, man, I loved it. And then at the end of it, we had Adam Cole came out and he picked up the belt. He put it on the champ, but he let him know, like, that was the message sent. Like, I'm coming. I'm number one. I'm coming for you. And just kind of stood
will be mine, sir.
Yeah, and stood on the side of the ring and kind of looked back in that classic Adam Cole pose. I said, "Oh, this is gonna be good."
I know Archer never wins the big one, but he's so good. And can I just say, Lance Archer needs to go to like GCW and become their heavyweight champion like tonight.
Yeah.
After that, like. Fuck, you can show them cats something. I don't mean any disrespect to GCW, but the way you do it,
he definitely gave Adam Heyman Page the business, man. I think he took less damage than Adam Heyman Page in that death match, dude. That slam he did on the side of the stairs to Hangman.
Oh God, that spot was crazy.
Shit was
so like buckled.
Oh my God.
And the way their steel steps are too, because some of it's exposed. Like every time I saw that, because I rewound it a bunch of times after that spot, I was like, oh man, no, like that's a dangerous spot. It felt, and when the ref checked on him, it felt real. Like the whole situation felt real. I'm looking at it like, is Adam okay? Is he okay? Go check him, because that was
the
fucked
side
up.
of the steps that he
was a
landed
stiff
on
bump.
actually bent.
Yeah. I'm like, dude, that is dangerous. But shout out to both of them, man. Like they went for it in this match to really give us a show, and they
put it all out there.
And Jake the Snake, man, he got involved too. Shout out to Jake the Snake.
Yeah, the DDT.
He was getting ready to do the DDT. I was like, oh,
yeah,
I don't know about you guys.
No, man, no, it's not about you.
I wanted to see that DDT bad.
Oh, the whole crowd.
Nobody.
Jake wanted to. He was like, come on.
Nobody in wrestling history snaps off that DDT like Jake the Snake. Nobody.
Yeah.
I mean, he hit him and got him with the short arm clothesline. He was getting ready. I was like,
let's go.
Bonus.
Oh, man. Dude.
And then Archer pulled him off. I'm like, what are you doing? I hope you lose now. Fuck you.
Oh, man. Dude, seriously. It was a great match. It was a great match overall. And this show, and it capped off a great show. Like this episode, I mean, it just had so much going on. The Switchblade reveal, the Keith Lee, debut. Like, oh my God, 2 women's matches, and then we had this main event for the AEW World Championship. Just awesome episode of Dynamite.
They kept you on your toes throughout the entire episode, because like no sooner than Jay White popped up, Keith Lee's head to the ring. No sooner did Jay get done, here comes Serena Deeb. You're like, whoa, what? Hold on. I'm with you, but let me take a breath, get some water,
Yeah, I was totally surprised by that. It definitely caught me off guard getting the second women's match, because I didn't know. I was like, what is going on? What is this? What are you doing, Serena Deeb? This is not what I think it is.
What it was, and it was good.
Oh, man. So yeah, man. So great episode of Dynamite, and then just switching gears back over here to WWE. So just we won't go through like everything that's happened in the last couple shows. Like, so we already talked about SmackDown, but I'm just curious about some thoughts around the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view. Specifically, they just announced that there's a women's Elimination Chamber match. You just kind of put that out there.
There's actually like 3 women's matches in Saudi,
bro.
Which again, that's
Saudi.
That's a monumental thing.
We got to give them props to WWE for changing the game in Saudi, bro.
Yes. It's
like,
awesome.
That's crazy.
To get that in Saudi, man, that's unbelievable. Now, the women's Elimination Chamber matchup. Right now we've got Liv Morgan, we've got Rhea Ripley, we've got Bianca Belair, we've got Doudrop, Nikki ASH, and then one more person to be determined for that matchup. Again, props to WWE for making this happen. So excited about that. Curious about your thoughts. Like, what you guys think about the women in there? Who you think? Well, I guess we don't have to do predictions necessarily, but just what you think of what could be happening in that match, and who do you think that mystery person is going to be? We'll start with Devin. You go.
Oh man, so once again, man, big shout out to WWE for giving us Elimination Chamber for the women's. I didn't expect that, so they came out the blue. That definitely caught me off guard. But who's gonna be the surprise guest woman to appear? That is a good question. I'm hoping it's Bailey.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
I just gotta go with that.
That's why I was
natural
gonna say.
instincts wants to go with Bailey for some reason. I know it's all Raw, but it's
It would just be awesome to see.
Dude,
I want
shows
Bailey to be there.
do shows even matter anymore? Though?
I know
Like,
it don't even matter.
We're coming off of. I still call them pay-per-views. I can't do premium live events.
brand to
live
brand
event.
invitational.
That premium live event sounds like something my wife will question me about if we stayed at a hotel. Like, I didn't order it, I swear.
What is this?
So pay-per-view. We're coming off a
Premium live
pay-per-view
event.
where a guy from Raw took on a guy from SmackDown, and Brock came from SmackDown to win the WWE title and go to Raw. So, like, brands don't really matter anymore when you think about it.
Yeah.
You go back, like, when
That might
Becky
slowly
showed
be
up.
Going
you
away
know,
with that, man.
It
When
might
Becky
be.
showed up, they were trying to send her to SmackDown, and I was like, she left Raw.
Yeah, man.
But I did think the mystery woman would be Bailey if she's ready. And considering I think she'd come back and win it, because you need a big name to go against Becky at WrestleMania. And Becky has beaten every woman in this match so far.
Yeah.
Like, she's beaten Liv repeatedly. She's beaten Nikki. She beat Drew Doudrop. I call her Piper. I can't do that. I can't do that.
Respect. Yep.
Beat
Yep.
Piper, at the Rumble. A little controversial, but still that manhandle. Whew.
Yeah. Oh,
That was
real
some
quick.
shit.
The manhandle slam. So we have kind of a running thing here with, it's basically the rock bottom, but at a certain percentage power.
The
First one was like 25% power, against Bianca Belair.
Yeah.
This one, what percentage power would you give this manhandle slam?
Oh, considering Piper's not the smallest of women, and she was coming from like the middle rope, I'd go pretty high. I'd probably say about 80% power.
Oh, see, yeah. There we go.
I think that's some muscle, and then with that mass landing, that's some power.
I felt the power. Yes, that mass hitting the mat like that. I was like, oh damn.
I'm not
Like,
knocking
okay.
Piper. She's thick, she's beautiful, but
she's
a big girl,
She's
and that's a
big
long
girl.
drop. That's
And
power.
of course, yeah.
65% tops.
Dude,
Oh,
man.
come on.
No, it's more than that, man.
Tops.
Dude, when I saw it, I said, that was like 90% power. In the
Time out.
moment, I felt it.
Let Roman do that to Brock or Goldberg and Saudi off the second rope. He's gonna be like, it was 125% power.
Yes, it would. Yes, 300%.
But Becky does it to Piper at 65.
100%.
That's the Roman ratio. You got to knock 60% off.
Dude,
No, I'd
man.
say 80. No lie.
Yeah, no, I feel you there, man. I feel you there. But no, so this matchup here, just looking at it all, you brought up a good point that everybody in this match, she's beaten. Rhea Ripley, I'm trying to remember, matchup Becky and Rhea, it's happened or
I don't think it has.
I don't think it's
so
happened.
that's the one person here that she
It's
hasn't
when,
actually had a matchup with one-on-one for
when-
the championship. It was
when
Charlotte
Rhea
that she
came
had all
up,
the
When Rhea came up, Becky was still out after having her
Right.
baby.
right.
And then since Becky came back, Rhea had
Yep.
since lost the title and kind of got stuck in the tag team. Now she's got this thing going with Nikki Ash, but
Yep.
she hasn't really been a player. So,
Yeah.
she might end up being the mystery, especially if Bailey's not ready to go.
Yeah. If Bailey, Bailey would be awesome. I would love to
It would
see
be.
Bailey. You've got Alexa Bliss, who's they're still doing this whole thing with
I can't
the
even.
therapy sessions, and I'm
I
not sure
can't
even
even
what
do
direction they're going in.
Where is
honestly.
that
Right?
going? Yeah.
I'm lost.
They're making it out like it's just
I think we're at the
saga
fork
of
in the
her
road with this
return.
one. Like, where are we
And-
going?
It's the
Yeah.
same thing.
Is she changing? It doesn't feel like it. It doesn't feel like she's changing.
Not one bit.
Yeah.
They even handed her a lily the other day. It was like, here
Yeah.
you go.
Great acting though. Great. Her
No,
tears,
yeah.
like she did a great
Yeah.
job with that. You know, I was like, oh damn, Alexa, okay, like that was good. But
No, she's
overall,
selling that like Shawn Michaels against Hulk Hogan. It's hard.
That's fair. That's fair. But I don't know. A name that popped in my head as we were talking earlier was Asuka. Like I can see it being Asuka.
Yeah.
Asuka returns in
I
this
wouldn't mind that
matchup.
either, bro.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind seeing the
Yeah.
Empress, especially her and Becky, because
and that
Becky
was
handed her
handoff.
the title.
Yep.
Yeah.
They didn't
So,
fight.
I could see it.
And those two have had some fights.
Devin, man, any guesses? I mean, we've said two of the big ones. I know you agree.
No, yeah,
with both
I
of them,
mentioned
but,
Bailey first, so
Yeah.
yeah, I like that Asuka. That's not bad
But could you
what,
imagine, like,
was there rumors that she might be hurt or not? Well, I think we heard a rumor, but I
don't think
thought she was
anything's
just in
been-
catering, bro.
right?
Yeah,
Honestly,
she
yeah.
supposedly got injured. I don't know where, but she supposedly got injured. But I'm just thinking, like, they announced here, and the mystery opponent is in Saudi Arabia. You don't even hear any music. The first thing you hear is "Ding dong, hello," and then the music hits.
Oh, dude, I would be all for it. I don't even care, man. Like, damn the brands, just put her there. Like, if she's ready to go, we will all accept it. A Saudi will definitely accept it. Like, they don't.
Mhm.
They just are happy to be seeing wrestling, and they appreciate it.
That's why
And
Tamina's
they-
going to be the special
Oh,
surprise.
oh my god! I got
Yeah.
stuff falling
I'll try not to laugh, but I'll go
Woo,
I'll go
man.
one different
I'm
direction.
sorry, Tamina, but it ain't happening.
No, it ain't happening. That's a pipe dream. That's
No.
all the AW what if stuff will happen first.
Oh,
Book it
man.
now.
Watch it.
Hold on. I'm
Watch
trying.
though, Vince, because this happened once before. They got
Where
me
we all
because
laughed
did
about
a
it?
prediction. Yes, remember our prediction show for was it Money in the
Money
Bank?
in the
women's
Bank.
one? And I said I'll take to be determined because I thought it was going to be a big name or something like that. It was Tamina.
It was Tamina. Yes, it was. But
I don't know, man.
if we go in a little bit of a different direction, I think somebody that could be called up that could be the mystery opponent because they're not really using her a ton and she's kind of outgrown it. Raquel Gonzalez.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Like a call up right now. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'd be
if
with
she was
that.
called up to be the mystery opponent
Oh,
in the
dude,
chamber,
hell yeah.
just the
Hell
way
yeah.
she is. And we've seen what she can do in like, street fights, hardcore matches with like Rhea and that type of thing. So like Chamber
that would be
her
dope.
house.
And her and Rhea
War
have a
Games would be
history, like that would be cool to just kind of use this to propel her and shit. I would be cool with having Raquel win and then go against Becky. Like, let's just do this. Let's go straight to it.
Like let's
why
do
not?
this Monday show.
Yeah. Right. Look,
Fuck WrestleMania. We're doing it on Raw.
Elimination Chamber is going to be a stat card.
100%. Oh man.
Oh my god.
Yeah, man. I'm excited for this one. I'm excited for this chamber matchup. I feel like it's gonna be a lot of fun. This there's a lot of intrigue here.
Yep.
And really I'm just not they don't have like a clear defined direction for that championship right now. With Ronda and Charlotte, we kind of see it. But with Becky, it's like, okay, things are up in the air.
I'll be honest, I was kind of hoping for Ronda and Becky, just because Becky took her
we all
title.
were. I was for sure.
Like she became Becky Two Belts off the
They
back of
got
Ronda
unfinished
Rousey.
business.
They're overthinking it.
Right.
So I
They're
thought when
overthinking
she-
this
yeah.
whole thing.
Yeah, that's why I've said it on our show time and time again. If you can count on one thing, WWE will never make sense.
Right. Like you had Ronda,
Like, no offense.
calling her Rebecca. She's still pissed.
Rebecca,
Clearly, she's
like
still
she's
pissed.
mad
Feels a
as
certain type of way.
Oh,
at
Ronnie,
Becky.
you little
Right.
weirdo.
And not only that, how quickly did she eliminate Charlotte in that Rumble? It took like 8 seconds. Just
Right.
It was
There
non-existent.
was no challenge. Right.
Just done.
It's done.
so you
Got no
figured,
beef with
okay,
you.
she's gonna challenge Becky. We're gonna have a WrestleMania rematch, so to speak. And then Charlotte comes in. I'm like, oh man.
No.
I feel about Charlotte the way most of y'all feel about Cody. Anybody but. In this case, Becky. Becky should have been the call.
It should have
Like,
been Becky. Definitely.
WWE makes no sense. Like, no, I know you're not gonna like to hear this, Devin, but nobody's gonna remember that Roman won at the Rumble. Okay, everybody's gonna talk about because he did. I mean, the Roman retained because he didn't win.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Everybody's gonna remember Shield. Everybody's gonna remember this.
Sierra Hotel, India, Echo, Lima, Delta,
and the tack vest and the gear and coming through the crowd and everything.
Well, I think you're half right. Because of that, they'll remember the finish because of Roman Reigns. Because of that whole package.
That was the moment where, like,
Oh, man.
Seth could beat Roman.
I love you.
Hear me out. Just let me finish. Seth could beat Roman because Roman has outgrown this Universal title. And then Brock knocks off Bobby, and then those two fight for the WWE Championship at WrestleMania.
Wait, say that again. Break that down one more time for me.
What I was saying was Seth should have beat Roman that night, and then Brock should have retained, leading to Roman taking on Brock for the WWE Championship.
Challenging. Yeah.
Okay.
You could swap championships that way.
The same belt that legendary members of his family fucking won.
Yeah.
It has all the history to it, as opposed to the Blueberry one that Goldberg's held 2 or 3 times.
Why not both? You can have both titles now.
Oh,
He is on God mode.
Oh man,
That's what's gonna happen.
But you see what I mean? Like you go that route, and now Roman gets the big boy belt. Gets to beat Brock. Maybe even have the Heyman Swerve moment in the match at WrestleMania to make it, that much bigger and get Paul back on the squad. But, upgrade your belt, start a new run. Now that you've come up with every record for this Universal title, it's like, okay, let it go. It's your turn to have this one.
What I want.
What do you want to see?
Revisit the heist of the century. The triple threat match that wasn't advertised as a triple threat match, but it became
when Seth cashed in.
Seth cashed in, but this time properly, because Seth on the Smoking Skull sessions with Steve Austin, he mentioned it here, and he mentioned it again actually on this episode of Raw.
On the what was it?
Yep,
the backstage segment.
Yeah, it was backstage segment. He's
yeah.
like, the one thing he's never done is he's never main evented a WrestleMania, and I'm like, okay. This should happen. This should happen. So for Seth Rollins goes into the chamber, wins in the Elimination Chamber, and then you have this whole situation where Brock, he has 2 people now who he has history with that have given him issues. I mean, Roman Reigns, he's got problems with him, and historically, Seth Rollins is giving him problems. So
Seth is the Beast Slayer. Can we be real?
The Beast Slayer. Yes, thank you. The Beast Slayer. He's never beaten Seth at WrestleMania. Roman hasn't beaten Seth in main matches. Yeah. Put him in the match. Make it.
And I know they never do it. I know they'd probably never do it, but I'd love to see if we did the triple threat. Have both titles involved, and winner of that triple threat gets that. That's the unified championship, right there.
That's my favorite.
They gave us a triple threat last year. Why not? Between Edge and Daniel Bryan, it was a fire match. So why not do it this year?
And honestly, I feel like this one makes more sense. Like there's
you got
more
Seth. He's the big
storytelling.
antagonist, man. He'll just
Oh no, that's what I mean. It does
fuck everything.
It makes total sense, but as I said, WWE makes no sense.
Well, what I think now here's what I think
Goldberg going after Roman when he was going to kill Bobby makes no sense.
Dude, here's what I think is actually happening. I think Seth and Kevin Owens are actually going to have a tag match against RK Bro. That's what I think is
at WrestleMania, or
I think they're getting ready to do right. What I just feel like the Seth Kevin Owens thing. There's something going on there, and either they're going to face each other at Mania, or they're going to team up and be another odd couple team as tag team champions eventually. So I could see that happening.
I'm wondering if we're going to get a tag title match between those 4 at the chamber, or not the chamber, but at Saudi. Because we still have one Raw to go. They just beat him last Monday.
But then that'd be Seth twice. He's wrestling twice.
Oh, that's right.
He's in the chamber match.
Yeah, and Riddle. Yeah. Riddle's in that too.
That's right. I forgot Riddle qualified. Okay, I'm sorry. My bad.
Yeah. I mean, but to your point, what if on the road to WrestleMania, before we get there, they do something with those guys? They could. I could see that. But yeah, man, I'm hoping for the triple threat, but the WWE thing to do would be we can hold that off and do that later on.
We can put a pin in it.
Right, later, just like with Naomi. Yeah, it's coming. Yeah, we'll get to that.
Put a pin in it.
Yeah,
makes no sense.
AJ,
we'll do it anyway.
Cool once. Yeah, we'll do Finn and AJ once again in the future. Sure. Yeah. They were both on Raw, but yeah, it's okay. Later.
Whatever.
Right. Bullet Club. Yeah, that was nice. Yeah, that was nice in Japan.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah,
whatever.
Yeah.
Bruce will figure it out later. Because we all know how good Bruce is at figuring it out. And I don't mean high class.
Right. Oh man. So yeah, man. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But I'm genuinely interested in what's going on with the Elimination Chamber. There's gonna be. It feels like canon. It feels like it's actually gonna be canon to the story. It was going on in WWE. There's some historical things happening. You know, there's gonna be some things to change the scope of what WrestleMania is gonna be. And so I just cannot wait for it.
We're gonna get a lot of women in a lot of long T-shirts.
Yeah, that's gonna happen. But it is definitely something historic for sure. That WWE should be commended for making it happen and kind of changing the culture, just giving women a spotlight like that in a place where it hasn't really happened, So it's cool. It's cool to see. But with that being said, that's all I got, as far as our episode today, man. Like I feel like we hit the broad spectrum of wrestling and talked about a little bit of AEW, the Forbidden Door. We only talked about WWE. We got Door. Yeah.
Hi, Grandma.
But this has been a lot of fun. Definitely enjoyed this. Before we go, our guest, Dom, South Philly Psycho, lunatic fringe of the Shield of podcasting.
There we go.
It is decided. Tell the people where they can catch you.
Oh, of course. You can always watch us on YouTube at TRWT parentheses a Fox Den Joan JWN. You'll catch Top Rope there, the Sports Syndicate podcast, a few other shows that we've tabled, but they're there. It's a ton of content. You'll enjoy it. We're pretty much available wherever podcasts are distributed, but if you want one-stop shopping, go to anchor.fm/TRWT. And you can always come follow us on social media. You can find us on Facebook, the page, the group. Just search Top Rope Wrestling Talk. On Twitter, we're at Top Rope WT. And then, of course, there's the PWI Lifetime Achievement Award winner for worst Instagram handle ever, which is long as fuck, but I'm going to try it anyway. And I haven't done this in a while, so bear with me. It's at top_rope_wrestling_talk.
There we go.
You see why we won the award. Were you here? It's terrible, and we leaned into it, and it paid off. So we're keeping it. And you can also buy this if you're watching lovely TRWT merch, like the shirt I'm wearing, mugs, masks, magnets, notebooks, beach towels, shower curtains, blankets, pillows, you name it, we got it at TRWT merch.
Old school Top Rope Wrestling merch right here, by the way.
Yes.
All right. Don't forget. Hey, all these shirts have meaning, by the way, for you listeners and watchers. So this one right here from Top Rope, that's family right here.
Yeah,
that's definitely from tier. That's definitely we might even have to put that up on our merch page, just as a tribute to Clark Street. I'm gonna come out with something that says "Lunatic Fringe of Podcasting" now.
There we go.
It's gonna be fun. But I thank you guys for doing it. For letting me on. It has been too long. I love doing this with y'all. I love that I'm the third member of the Shield. I'm just pumped about this whole thing. Thank you.
Dude, man. It's
my people.
Always, man. You family, man.
Family.
All right, man. Devin, it's that time. Tell the people where they can catch us.
Yes, all the time. Before I do, I want to thank our lovely guests. Brother from another mother, the lunatic
pleasure's
of
mine,
podcasting,
man.
But coming through for answering the call. We
as long as I don't catch a chair in the back one day, everything's cool. I appreciate y'all.
Now watch out for me. Yeah.
Don't get any ideas, you.
Architect.
Right. Oh man, bro, we love you, man. Just always, man. Always appreciate it, man.
You know,
same. Yeah, man, definitely.
And another shout out too, man, to another, I want to say, a Twitter follower of ours called Strictly for the Culture. You can follow them at always SFTC. That's once again at always SFTC. They showed us a lot of love, especially this last episode.
Yeah,
I took screenshots. Had to send it to my boy. I'm like, bro, look at this.
You gotta see the
Much
tweet.
appreciated.
I'm getting a little teary eyed.
Yeah.
I don't know who I am.
I loved it.
It was beautiful. Like even I got choked up reading it. I was
Oh,
like,
dude.
Yeah.
"How are you guys?"
Much appreciated. Thank you for showing the love, man. It was just awesome. Like reading all that, I was like, wow. Oh my
Right.
You know, like, oh my goodness. Like it means
I know,
a lot.
like
It
I
really
was,
does.
I was
Like,
so happy for y'all. I was like, this
Man,
is beautiful.
yeah.
I was like, wow. And then he
Awesome.
sent another one. I'm like, oh, I got to send the visas. Like, bro, wow.
Yeah, I love the Kojima.
Yes.
shout out to in there too. Like the Konami curse is lifted. I said, oh, okay, I like it. With the NXT 2.0, I get you. I see you. Yeah, man. Just thank you. That was much appreciated for sure.
Yeah, man. And by the way, they got a merch website, so catch them. You can follow them. The link, I believe, is connected to their Twitter page because they got some awesome merch. They got some coffee cups. They got shirts, hoodies. Check them out. I put an order in, so it's in transit because I had to show support. I'm like, hey, y'all been showing much love to us. I'm going to hit y'all back with the support, too. So before you know it, you're going to be seeing some merch over here. Like, oh, I see y'all. I'm like, yeah. So salute to Strictly for the Culture. All right, now we have a one-stopping shop where you can find all of our social medias, where you can find the audio and video platform of the podcast, ClarkStreetWrestling.com, ST for the abbreviation, where we have our merch as well. Get that merch.
Get that damn merch.
Right here. It's cold as hell right now. It's February. I got a couple more weeks of my birthday before I be that young 3-7. All right. But get your hoodies. Stay warm. Toasty. Yes, as well. But if you're down in the southern equator, southern hemisphere, Australia, Niger,
South Philly,
Brazil, Saudi, get your ass off the hot ass sand and get your beach towels. Yes, you don't want to burn your ass. It's not a good thing. So get the beach towels. ClarkStreetWrestling.com/store for your pleasure. It is decided.
love that.
Yes.
I can't get away with saying that when I plug our merch and shit. I can't do it. It don't sound right when I do it.
Oh man, we've had a lot of fun here. Thank you again, Dom, for being with us, man. Anytime. Just, hey, you family. See, you family.
You know it. You guys too.
Dom, yes.
Yo.
Dom and the Top Rope Wrestling Talk. Devin, I'm Hafiz. We'll catch you guys next time. Peace.
All right, guys. Thanks for listening to the Clark Street Wrestling Podcast. We the Shield. That's right. We back. The Shield.
One more time.
Yes. Acknowledge us.
Hotel, India, Echo, Lima.
There we go. Yes. Yeah. Circle debate. I didn't forget. Debate coming soon. Don't forget. The L is coming. Yeah.
Chief never forget.
Yeah.